And you got stuck in there.
Brilliant.
The same thing happened to me at Daytona.
Oh,
No,
dear.
have I ever told you the Daytona story?
I don't know if you have, but tell me again if you have.
So the
whatever.
endurance race that we did, the 24-hour, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've just woken up from a nap, right? And I'm about to get ready to get back in the car. I've requested the car to come into the pits at the end of its stint, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in the toilet, right? And the lock for the dial, right, spins. And when it spins,
Yeah.
it gives it an extra lock, you know? So it slides out or it spins and it locks again. So it double locks, right? So I lock the door, go to the toilet, and I get a message from Matt. Your car's in the pits. I'm like, oh, fuck! I'm trying to open the door and the fucking door's not opening. I'm locked in there. I'm panicking now. I'm fucking panicking. Right? Fucking door is locked. I'm messaging Matt and said, I'm stuck in the fucking toilet. I'm stuck in the toilet. I'm stuck in the
Locked in the
toilet.
toilet. It is
Daytona.
Yeah, I couldn't get the fuck out.
So that again
Was
cost
proper
4
panicking.
And
He
then
was proper panicking.
I realised the knob had moved, so I had to just spin the knob and I could get out.
Similar to when my door handle came off my lounge door and I couldn't get out of the lounge in between. Went for a pee or just before qualifying or just before a race. Pro-Am one, that was. An important one. And I had to climb through the hatch between the fucking dining room and the kitchen. The door handle fucking broke off in my hand.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Brilliant.
9, 10, 11, 12. Who are we going to miss tonight? We're going to miss Gary.
We should have 12 drivers in the lobby
I
tonight.
will go
1,
now
2,
and
3,
chat
4,
with my
5,
See you
teammates.
later,
7,
Ant.
8,
Yeah.
9, 10,
Yeah.
11,
Yeah,
12.
mate.
12 drivers.
I
Yeah.
hope my tire marbles and sprayed water tastes good.
From what I've worked out, we should have 12 drivers. No Disco, obviously, he's done. No Mazda takes us down to 14. No Gary takes us down to 13. No Monkey Boy takes us down to 12.
Where's Maz?
He's
Decorating his house.
decorating his. He's got his cancel house. He's trying to get it done while he's off work this week, so he can get moved in before Babby comes because he's expecting his second baby at the end of the month.
Right.
Baby,
But,
not babby.
Grown up stuff.
Yeah, he even missed ACC last night, so you know it's important.
Well, he was meant
the-
to start
Matthew.
it last week, weren't he? But he had no power, so
He had no power. Yeah,
More importantly, where the fuck is Jamie?
That's a good question.
He did this other night, Dan, and I texted him and he never fucking replied. He's online. He's on Project Cars 2. Who else are we waiting on here though? Biggs
Fury.
in. Biggs is in.
I'll go as a Gary racing.
Don't know, he didn't say it,
Commitments.
so they can't
He's
mention
he's got family commitments at Little Leeches.
that. Yeah, Craig said he was around. It is early. I think they're doing something for bank holiday or something.
He's getting hammered.
yeah, Monkey's not home yet, so
All the invitations
nearly-
are still out if they did get home. So
I nearly called it. The beach was so nice, I didn't want to come home.
would
He's
be
surfing,
here.
were you, Kelly?
No, mate, I don't surf. What are you laughing at, you fucking knob?
You fucking knob.
Fucking knob. I dipped my toes in the water. Fuck me, it was cold. Really cold. So, none of that shit.
Oh, the party chat can be heard apparently, Matt.
Yeah, I unmuted it too early. I prematurely unmuted.
Nice,
Do you want to do the cable swap overs, minute?
Jamie's here.
great.
Yeah?
So we should have 14 people in this lobby tonight. So we're too short. Who are we missing? Fury and
Monkey boy.
No,
no,
no, Monkey's
Smokey.
not.
Smokey.
Fury and Smokey.
Party chat can be heard. Get in. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Muted it now, you penises.
Well, you should have muted it before.
Yeah, you're the penis.
Right, you bunch of wank stains. I'm gonna go and join Jimmy Brother and
You're the wank stain.
enjoy the lovely conditions you have coming.
I will
guys.
do. I'm going to use a hit.
Sutty, more importantly,
What's that?
are you on the wheel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking hope so. He's probably paid enough for it.
Yeah.
Enjoy, lads.
Thank you.
I was doing 2 minutes 11 in the drive with the H pan.
Oh, look at that. That was timing.
Hmm?
That was timing.
Yeah.
Only just started that. I gotta find percentages now.
There's not many people tonight.
No, not many at all. 14 divided by 10 equals... No, not times.
1.4.
Yeah, times that by 2 is 2.8. So lap 3.
Yep.
And then
Lap 3.
times 1.4 by 7, 9.8. So lap 3 to lap 10.
Alright.
That's what I think is 70%. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah.
Yep.
Race 2 is going to be fun.
Wet weather.
Thunderstorms.
Good.
And they don't know what is coming either. They're all trying to guess, and I've decided to go right out there. I know Matt's listening. I'm not going to tell him what it is though.
Yeah. Let's phone on charge. It is now 8 o'clock. So whoever's not in can get
Stuffed.
yeah, can get stuffed. Window.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and joining me in the commentary box once again every Thursday night here at the Pros is my good friend Big Boy Brazier, also known as Jamie Brazier. How are you doing, buddy? And are you looking forward to tonight's action here at COTA?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Dan. I'm looking very forward to tonight's action at COTA. It's a shame that we don't have as many people as we like here, but hopefully these the 11 people that we have tonight can put on a good show for us.
Yeah, sadly tonight we're only going to have 12 drivers on the grid. We're just missing Smokey, but hopefully he should be able to make it into the session. No Gary 131 tonight, no Mazda, and no Monkey Boy. So we are down to 12 drivers here this evening. Obviously Disco pulling out earlier on in the season, but nonetheless, Jamie, an interesting night's worth of racing last night in the Pro-Am, and tonight in the Pro. Things can get interesting for sure. As you can see, we've got lovely clear skies at this practice session at the minute, but there is weather lurking around, and not just any type of weather. There's some thunderstorms brewing around, but we don't know when is exactly going to hit. So that's really going to shake things up here tonight, isn't it, Jamie?
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to shake things up tonight, and could get a few unexpected results, but so we'll have to wait and see when that wet weather comes. So it might catch some people out as well.
I am keeping a track on the weather right now. Due to it being in America, we can see the live weather as we're going, and like I said, race 1 is beautiful clear skies as it is. The game's already set for the first race, so this is what they're going to be running for practice, qualifying, and the race as well. And as I had another quick look at the conditions, and Jamie, is definitely going to be an interesting race for sure ahead of us. But nonetheless, we are here at Circuit of the Americas, our second trip here this season. First trip was down in the F1s, and obviously the second trip here for the GT3s. And what a circuit we come here, a mixture of corners from many famous tracks around the world. And Jamie, is this a circuit that you love, or is it a track that you hate, or you're not too fond of?
I won't lie. I absolutely hate this track. I think it is absolutely horrible. Yeah, so it didn't bode well for me in F1. I crashed that around here, but yeah, it's just not a track that I like. Ever since it came onto the F1 calendar back in 2012, it's just not been a track that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, I'm just getting a message here from Smokey. He says he's not had an invite yet, but I'm pretty sure if
Smokey he is in.
He's in now, yeah.
Yeah, he is in now. He now loses it through what is the Maggots Beckett section, which is probably one of the worst bits on this track. Me and my teammate from F1 PM Motorsport have had a lengthy discussion about why we dislike that section. But Dan, do you like this circuit, or do you not like it as well?
It's one of those circuits where I don't mind it. I'm not a massive fan of it, but I can race it. I can go well on it, but that's about it. But nonetheless, it's definitely a challenging circuit. Like we said, it's got a majority of mixture of different circuits. I think it's got like 5 or 6 circuits just alone in the track layout. Turn 1 down to turn 2 is actually based off Interlagos' Schumacher S's. The way that it dips down the hill is the run that it's meant to have gone for from 1 and 2. And then obviously we go into the famous 4, 5 and 6. 3, 4, 5 and 6, which is Maggots and Beckett's. The straight that Sutty's just gone down as well, that's meant to be based off Shanghai, with that long straight, meant to be the similar length to Shanghai. And obviously in the second sector, there's a mixture of Hockenheim Stadium Ring, and there's also a mixture of Istanbul Park with that long turn 8 that it has. It's of the opposite way around here at Texas, but nonetheless, Jamie, so many challenging parts of the track, so many opportunities to gain advantages, but another circuit that's very, very difficult to overtake. As Peaceful goes off, there's really only 2, maybe 3 good opportunities, and you really do need to have the advantage and a good traction off corners as well.
Oh yeah, definitely definitely gonna need a good traction off corners. That corner there, you could probably, if it's quite easy to make a mistake through here, very easy to make a mistake, and someone could quite easily just nip up the inside. But the main overtaking opportunity has got to be down this massive long straight. The Mercedes are going to be rubbing their hands together on this straight, because they are going to absolutely fly down it, as well as the Lamborghinis, the 2 cars with the best straight line speed. The Audi and the BMW perhaps not going to be too good down the straight, but everywhere else they might have. They're probably going to have the better traction at the corners.
Yeah, definitely. So, in your opinion, Jamie, which car out of all these do you think is going to be well suited here at Texas?
I'm not really sure. I think, say, with the weather as well being it at the minute it's being quite hot, it's going to be a bad tire life. As I think someone said, it was a bit like Catalunya back in season 3, that you just got to keep the tyres within the window. So I think the Mercedes are going to struggle, because we both know that Mercedes just kill their tyres off very quickly. I think the Audi probably do quite well around here, but then I said that last week, and
yeah, I would possibly say the BMW and the Ferrari are looking good here. Ferrari, I know Peaceful has really got into the groove here, especially in the dry conditions. He's really got into the flow of things. Jamie, you're going to find out tonight that the cameraman is horrendous when you change cameras, so I'll warn you about that one. But yeah, I think the BMW with its traction, it's got great traction. I think the hairpins is where the BMW could benefit, but also the Ferrari seems well balanced around here. As Andy already does a 2:05.2, as does Fury. Fastest lap times that I've done in the Lamborghini a 2:04.7 is my best around here. But all these guys are looking to try and get their best setups and tweaks set up now, while we got these lovely dry conditions at this stage. Here's a quick run of the championship as it stands. Overtaker is leading the way of the championship with 114 points to his name. He is ahead of this man, Mata Himovic, who is 6 points behind in the championship. And in third place is Fury on 84 points. He's a further 30 points behind. So at the minute, Mata Himovic and Overtaker are pulling away from the pack. Andy is now 1 point behind Fury. That's a tight fight for third place position, and with D-Pigs with that brilliant win in Imola has put himself up into 5th place in the championship. 6th place is Mazda, who sadly isn't here this evening, so he won't be able to score points, nor will Gary 131. This is going to invite Peaceful in 8th place position to score some decent points over them for those mid-pack fight. Well, you got Emo Guy in 9th place position and KLF in 10th. A row with Lamborghinis, as Sati also in 11th place position. All those guys relatively close. The 2 teammates in Audio Sport Pro Laps only separated by 1 point. And it goes the way of Kelly so far, being the more consistent this season. And it's 12th and 13th. Once again, 2 teammates running next to each other. Smoking Hot Racing of Smokey Devil and M Plava in the Mercedes are in those positions. Monkey Boy, who's unable to race this evening, he is in 14th place position. And 15th is Argent. The team's championship looks like this. There is only 1 point separating the top 2 teams. Jaeger Motorsport leading the way, but Matt on his own will have to try and score points on his own and try and do the best he can do for Gary 131 tonight. In 2nd place is Silence of the Lambos, who are both here tonight to score some good points, with Teletubby Racing in that 3rd place position, only 13 points behind, so they're close on the points. 4th place is Slingshot Motorsport, is now down to Andy all on his own. So can Andy stay ahead of Pushing Limits Racing, who are currently in 5th place position with Auto Sport Pro Laps in 6th. 7th is Simplay Racing, and bringing up the rear is Smoking Hot Racing. And at the minute, Jamie, it's the Overtaker match show, as you say. Good evening to Mummy D, Fury's Grandad, Piano Motorsport, and M Plava all in the chat. So nice to see them in the chat. But at the minute, it is going the way of Overtaker and Matt, and the others really need to find some pace, as they are looking the strongest here at this minute of the season.
Yeah, they do. They just need Matt and the guys behind just need Overtaker and Matt just have a bad round. Say, we know Fury's got the pace. He's just a bit inconsistent at the minute as we get Smokey Devil back in. Yeah, Fury's got the pace. Andy's got the pace. They've just not had the luck at all. Mazda's been there as well, but he's not there. He's not here tonight, so he's going to lose even more points. But yeah, I think the 2 to watch out for definitely got to be Fury and Andy, because we know they have the pace. They just really need the luck on their side.
They definitely do, and I think tonight with these changeable conditions, changeable temperatures, as well as PN also says in the chat that he despises this track, so another person who hates it. But I think it's very different in the F1s. Obviously dirty air will affect the cars more, but I think dirty air will affect these cars as well, especially in Sector 1 and Sector 3. Sector 2 not as much, but Overtaker and Matt looking very strong. But we know Andy and Fury does have the pace for this championship, and they can bring it back. Also, a man on the roll at the minute is this man, D-Biggs. He seems to have found his form once again in this Audi, and since he's ditched me, he's really found a little bit more pace in this Audi and really starting to come back again. As Aiden is in the chat saying hi, how are you all? We're doing very well, and nice to see you, Aiden. Nice to see you back on track, hopefully soon. But yeah, D-Biggs is starting to find his form once again.
Yeah, D-Biggs he's been at the front quite a bit. Again, he's not had the luck of overtaking Matt. He runs very wide there, but not IndyCar wide as a couple of seasons ago. Yeah, he's just not had the luck of overtaking Matt. Overtaker made a few mistakes. I know Overtaker made a few mistakes at Imola last week, but he still got a few decent results.
He did get a few. Yeah, he did get a few decent results, but I think the problem with D-Biggs is just he's still trying to get used to this Audi again. It's been 3 years in a row now. 3 seasons in a row where he's been in 3 different cars: the Porsche, the McLaren, and now he's back in the Audi. So it's really relearning all over again.
Yeah, so he perhaps just needs a bit of consistency. We know the Audi is a car D-Biggs likes a lot. So he's had a few race wins. He took the last race win at Imola, but yeah, hopefully after that win we can see him kick on and just have that bit more luck.
Definitely so. Guys, if you are watching the channel, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, so you do not miss any of the action here at Simplay Motorsport. Make sure you tune in on a Tuesday night for the touring cars. They will be back at Silverstone National for next week. Make sure you tune in for that, as Fury and Cobb are leading the championship, but I've slowly been catching on to the back of them after a wet Snetterton 300. But more importantly, for the last time this season, if I'm on my own or if I'm not on my own, please give us a support as we head to the final round of the F1 Championship. We head to Abu Dhabi, and I'm hoping and praying that Jamie has convinced himself to get on track and give Matt and Gary one last push and maybe get a win this season. Last round of the F1's coming up, Jamie. It's going to finally not be two long nights for me on a Sunday night, but
Yeah.
it's been a great season nonetheless in the F1's.
Yeah, it has been a good season in the F1. Had a good championship battle between Matt and Green parties, but yeah, say you probably would be less tired watching F1 as.
I wouldn't say tired. Tired probably wasn't the word. It was more bored. Is the right word.
Falling asleep watching the race, and you'll get less sleep now after next week.
Yeah, definitely so. But nonetheless, touring cars have been great action on Tuesday with those changing conditions, and with the changing conditions here at the GT3s as well. We could see some more action here tonight. But the impressive thing last night that we had, Jamie, was the Dutch domination of Ukbar. He absolutely destroyed it in Pro-Am, taking the fastest in practice, pole position in the first qualifying, fastest lap in race 1, then went on and take the race win again in race 2 and fastest lap. Other than not taking another pole position, he pretty much had a grand slam last night. The Ginetta was strong, the Dutch were strong, and he is not actually too far off these guys' pace. If this is the pace that it is, he would actually be in 4th place right now.
Yeah, so there's some good pace movements. I heard earlier in the week that that he had been looking very strong, and that resulted in 2 race wins. But to say the Ginetta around here is probably a very good car. Just like to point out though that Smoky Devil has now come out of the pits. I think it just glitched as Peaceful just goes to him. He gets out of the way, but I think everyone's going to ghost, and I think he's actually lagging.
Yeah, he seems to be lagging quite bad.
Which might be the reason for him coming in and out. At the minute, Overtaker is quickest with a 2-minute 5.1. Fury is 1.5 tenths slower as he gets a little bit sideways through that. It's such a tricky corner.
It's been a while since we've been here at COTA. Would you like to know the lap records here, Jamie? Because I do have them on screen. Where we were questioning last night if Peaceful was won here, he hasn't. He confirmed to us just before we started that he has not won here at COTA, but instead has the record here in qualifying. He has the record in the Mercedes with a 2:07.8, and we're already smashing that here in practice. Right now, even D-Biggs just a tenth off of that in 7th place position, but the race record is actually held by Gary 131 in the Porsche 911 of a 2:07.4. So already these guys are smashing the lap times that we done in season 3, and they were open setups as well.
I believe it was actually season 2 he did COTA last time, because I remember being in a Lamborghini for it.
Yeah, definitely. Possibly so, but this man needs to start getting his form back together again. He just seems for a couple of rounds, he's just been a little bit leery, a little bit aggressive, possibly needing to tone it down a little bit, especially in the touring cars. Fury needs to start getting some more consistency. He has the pace, he has the raw strength to do so, but he's just pushing the limits a bit far in some of these races.
Yeah, he is just pushing the limits just a bit. He just needs to bank the points at the minute. He needs to do a Colin Turkins and Ash Sutton from last year and just bank the points. It doesn't matter whether he's the fastest on track or if he wins the race, as long as he gets those points, because the likes of Overtaker and Matt could be caught up, and Fury could be there right at the end to get those valuable points. So he's just got to calm himself down a bit, stop overdriving that Mercedes, and just find a nice find a nice rhythm for himself.
Definitely so. Points means prizes in this championship, and that's what they got to focus on. Fury needs to get into that group. Fury has been struggling due to the problem with his pedal, says Fury's granddad. He has been suffering with brake pedal issue, so he is going to be a bit cautious out there tonight, as Overtaker now does a 2:04.6. He just goes and smashes my best time already by a tenth, so Overtaker finding the pace out there. This man, Andy, after an interesting Imola, being caught out by the pit stops that I messed up. Manual pit stops were assigned to race 2, but forgot that they had been reassigned and got disqualified for that one. But he is back, as he has a little wiggle there. He's trying to get temperature into those tyres, but I don't think temperature is what he wants, as he's gone off.
He's not going to find much temp. He's not going to get any temperature by going out there.
No, definitely not. I'm not sure what Andy's trying to do. Possibly trying to get pressure up, maybe. But he exits the final corner to start a lap here. But this man needs to start finding a little bit more form so he can get back on and challenge the to challenge Overtaker and Matt. Obviously, not able to race 2 at Imola really hampered him. And with no double points or drop score no more, he can't really fight back with point system. But nonetheless, this BMW could do very well here, especially with its race pace, I reckon. Race pace is where I think Andy will possibly need to focus on.
Yeah, he definitely needs to focus on the race, but I think everyone needs to focus on the race. You can qualify. It doesn't matter whether you qualify if you qualified 12th and have the best race pace of them all. Even though you qualified 12th, you've won the race and only lost out on a point. So it's better to go on race pace. And we know Andy has incredible race pace. He just keeps getting caught out in instance. I can't remember who he got caught. If he got caught out in an instant, but say he got caught out with the pit stops. But around Road America as well, he got caught out with a collision with Mazda, and that cost him quite a few points.
Yeah, so we know Andy has got the pace. We know he's fast. We know he's on top of things when he needs to be. But I think Andy, now being on his own, he's going to find it harder to score points that way around. But nonetheless, Andy, we know what Andy can do in his car. We know he came runner-up to myself last season. He has got the pace. He knows how to deal with the pressure. So I'm pretty sure Andy will be able to come back. And it's going to be circuits that's going to better suit this car later on in the season. So Andy will be coming back for sure.
Yeah, say next week is older. That's going to be a car that's definitely going to suit the BMW. So he can make some gains, and I think that say next week the Mercedes might struggle. There's not really many straights for the Mercedes to capitalise on. So it's going to be the cars that are just better through the corners next week. And say this track is a bit of both, really. I'd say it is quite top speed, but say some of the corners are very tight. As practice is now finished, I think Andy didn't get across the line for another lap. There is someone who's who's that coming towards the end of the lap. It's not. So it is peaceful.
It is peaceful, and he's just probably just tweaking and adjusting his car to suit the track a little bit better. But that is practice over. 20-minute practice for the pros, as they will now head to a qualifying session. As Jamie, I think a bit of cloud is now starting to hang over the circuit a little bit. A bit of light cloud probably coming in, possibly some medium cloud for the race. But nonetheless, that is practice over. So they will have a 10-minute qualifying session straight after this, and then into a 30-minute race accumulated by laps. So we reckon it's going to be about 14 laps here at the Circuit of the Americas. And also, we will be they'll be given a pit window. And for tonight, the pit window is lap 3, end of lap 3 to the end of lap 10. They will have to pit within that window. And guys, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Really helps us out here at Simplay Motorsport, and also hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, so you do not miss any of the fantastic action here at Simplay Motorsport. And you can hear my lovely voice, Jamie's lovely voice, and Matthew's lovely voice every single week, as well as Overtaker will finish on top here tonight in the practice session. And already Lamborghini strike the first strike here, Jamie, and they're gonna have to do a lot of work to catch Overtaker. But Fury only 3/10 behind.
Yeah, Fury is only 3/10 behind. I think that should be the last. There's one car coming into the pits. There we go. That is the end of practice. But yeah, it's strike number 1 to Lamborghini. The Mercedes isn't that far off, but the top 3 of Overtaker, Fury, and Andy only covered by over half a second, and then it's over a second to Matt. So he's hoping he's got a bit more pace in him. If not, we might see the top 3 disappear off into the distance come the
Yeah.
race.
Definitely so, and also with the track temperature, we're looking at 60 degrees. It's track temperature, and I think ambient is something like 38 degrees or something like that. So track temperature is going to be important. The question is, Jamie, if you're in this situation, I know a few guys are taking different attempts at qualifying. Some are going out and easing their tyres into the session. Others are just going out and doing a hot lap straight away. In your situation, if it was you in your Audi, what would you be doing? Because I know you like your Audi, you like the setup. Would you be taking it easy on the outlap, or would you just be nailing it and getting on with it?
Oh yeah, I'd be taking it very easy on the outlap. Who have we got that is first? Is it Matt? No, there is a car quite...
Is it Overtaker?
No, it is not Overtaker. Oh, the car's gone off
Emo
anyway.
guy.
I think that...
Emo guy, I think.
It
is.
Yeah. So, the problem Emo got... Or say Emo guy spun there, that he's also going to have cooked his tyres. But yeah, if I was in the Audi, I think I'd be nursing it round this first lap, just getting a bit of temperature in the tyres, and then be going for it on the next lap, because I can see these tyres only having probably 1 to 2 laps tyre life in qualifying before they go off their peak.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's what's going to happen. Overtaker will be your first person to start a lap here, with Andy in second, Matt in third, and Fury will be your fourth man to come across the line. And I totally have to agree with you on that one, Jamie. We've only just started this session 10 minutes in, and we're coming to 8 minutes already left of this session.
Yeah.
They can't mess around here. It's a 2-minute lap here. They've got to get their banker in, and if they can find more time, then they will. But you have to get a good banker in for sure.
Oh yeah, you've got to get a good banker. You don't want to be put under pressure around this circuit at all. So, who are we going for pole then, Dan?
We can't look further than this man, Overtaker. And when Overtaker gets into the final sector, Jamie, I think we will have to go on board with him for a lap of Kota. Will I write up a pole as Overtaker comes into the final section, and now as Jamie will take you for a lap here of Circuit of the Americas.
Yep, so we're now going to come into the left, the final turn, and then a blast down the straight and towards the hill of turn 1. Sharp braking zone coming up. Overtaker moves to the left, possibly to just stop Andy getting the slipstream. Right, harsh braking zone of turn 1. Keep it nice and tight, not hitting the sausage curve. Run it out wide, then back to the left. Not sweeping turn of turn 2. Then it is the Maggots Beckett section. Left, right, and left again. Trying not to cut the corners or hit them too hard that you spin off. Long right-hander here, and then it's straight into a left-hander cut, and a cutting half the curve. Right-hander going up the hill. Then it's another left-hander where you cut half the curve, and try not to run out wide. Then down the hill towards the left hand, and now coming up towards the hairpin before the back straight. Overtaker's gone a bit deep there, and he might have messed his lap up. Go now down the long straight where the top speed of the Mercedes and the Lamborghini should help out a lot. Andy, I think, is right behind to get the slipstream, and Palava's put a lap in of 2 minutes 18, but that would be an outlap. Right. Heavy braking zone, very good overtaking opportunity going into the sharp left-hander. Straight back on the power to the left, another sharp tight corner of the right. Hit the curb, then hit the right again. This corner now coming up very tricky, just to miss the apex. Overtaker has a bit of a slide. Now coming into the Istanbul turn 8 section. Trying to keep it as nice and tight as possible, letting the car run out wide. Here, then back wide again, clipping this apex, trying not to hit this. Oh, he's a bit Overtaker, a bit slow through there. Clipping the final corner. He's all up the curve, getting nice exit at the corner. If it's a good lap, you should be in the 2-minute 5, 2-minute 4s. If it's not, then you're in trouble.
Overtaker across the line, and he sets a lap of 2:04.9. What does Andy do? I think he's had a mistake somewhere. No, it's a 2:05.0, so he's only a 10th off. Fury also 2:06.5. He's not far. Matt 2:05.2. All these lap times coming in relatively close, and that is a lap of Saga the Americas with Jamie Brazier. So thank you very much for that. Jamie Asati comes across the line. What does he do on his lap? He only goes to 2:07.2 at this stage of the qualifying sessions. But like I said, Jamie, they've all come in to do their first laps, and it's less than 5 minutes left of this sessions. We got a little bit of cloud cover starting to come in as well, so all these guys will possibly be able to extend their stint here with these tires. But at the minute, overtaker from Andy, from Matt, from M Plava in 4th place. He's had a solid first lap there. As Argent comes to the line, what does he do? He does a 2:10.
So next across the line is going to be Smoky Devil. He's now going to come to the final corner. Keeps it nice and tight. And, yeah, KLF is in the pit, so hopefully he'll get out for one more go. Smoky is now about to come across the line. The start finish line is in a different position as he goes into 10th place. D Biggs comes across the line. Where can D Biggs go? He only goes 11th, so he's made a mistake on that lap. Emo Guy is now coming through the section. The section where Max Verstappen got done in 2017 for overtaking Raikkonen off the track.
And then he had that very awkward moment in the podium room with Kimi and said, "You got to leave, mate, because you cut the track." But here comes Emo Guy to the start-finish line. A very long run to the line. As he comes towards it now, he's going to cross the line. Emo Guy, last one to set a lap time here. He only goes 11th. D-Big, slowest of everyone so far. So he's had a mistake somewhere. 3 minutes left of this session, and these guys have to get out now if they want to set their final lap times. Fury towards the line. Has he improved? I really need to set up my phone so I can have all the sector times. But Fury towards the line. He only goes 4th. He gets within 3/10 of Overtaker.
Yeah, he does. Peaceful hits that saucer curb, not running too wide at all, but I think he hit that curb quite a bit. Made the car quite unstable. He comes out the final corner. Normally the start finish line is where it's there on F1. That is where it is. But on Project Cars 2, it is further up. He goes 2/10 quicker, but no improvement. He needs to find another 10th to go up into 6th place above Sutton. Who have we got next coming across the line? Matt is in sector 1 at the minute.
Wow, Jamie, I've just had another look at the weather radar. Right now, 3 o'clock in Kota, the weather has changed again. I'm going to screenshot that because I believe some of the drivers will not believe me, but especially Matthew. He told me in the practice session he wanted me to keep checking the weather because he wants more rain, and it could possibly be on the cards as I do take a screenshot of the final race. And Jamie, we could be in for an interesting night for sure. These guys focusing on race 1 now. D Biggs comes to the line. He's currently slowest of all towards the line. Has he improved? That is the question. Towards the line he goes. Yeah, he goes. As you got Louise in the chat saying hey, and nice to see you in the chat, Louise. As if you can do so, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. As these guys are all coming in on their last few laps now.
There's a car. I think that is Emo Guy, who is now slowest of all by about 4.5 seconds to Argent.
There is currently a poll out at the minute for fastest for the pole position, and at the May is going the way of Overtaker. 9 votes to him. 56% of you reckon it's going to be him. The other 22%, the other 44% is split with Andy and Matt. As you got a few more minutes left of that, as we are coming to the end of this session, and Certi and KLF are done.
Yeah, Argent's done as well. He's spun. Who have we got coming to the end of their lap? There's someone about to cross the line. Smokey spun. Who have we got coming towards the end? I think that might be Andy. Andy does not improve, but I think that was an out lap.
He's got a bit of damage to the front of that BMW, as you can see, so he's going to have to try and sort it out. As here, Matt and Peaceful are together towards the line. Matt's going to get a lovely tow and possibly one more lap, but I think that this is Matt's out lap. Peaceful across the line. He improves and finds 2/10. He gets ahead of D Biggs and up into 6th place position. Can he find 6/10 and go ahead as Overtaker has improved even more?
Yeah, he improves even more, so he's now 3/10 ahead. What can Andy do? Andy is now coming through the end of Sector 1. He's a 10th up, but he needs to find some some more time. There's another car in the pit, so at the minute it's Emplava, Sutty, KLF, and Emo Guy who are done. There is a massive track.
There is a big train of 3 cars. I don't know who that is. I think it's possibly the likes of it's the 2 Powerline Racing boys, the Audi boys, as Argent and D Biggs. I think Argent ruined his lap. It's down to D Biggs. There's Smokey in the background, drops it. So 9th is about as good as he's going to get unless Argent improves. He doesn't get the best run out of the corner. D Biggs is looking to try and improve on 7th place position. Towards the line he comes. A little toe from the back of his teammate. How's this going to help him out? No, it hinders him.
It doesn't help him at all. So who is next to come across the line? I think that is Andy coming across the line next. Andy comes across. He's still only a 10th up. He's gonna start second, but I think that BMW.
This is where I think this is where the Lamborghini found all its time. So if Andy can hook up the final sector, he's just within track limits there. Both wheels were still on the curb, but Andy, he's going through the Istanbul section now. And sorry, JB, to put in, but this is the section that the Lamborghini's strongest. Can Andy find that time?
Yeah, he's got to find the time. Say, Overtaker's found something through there. Andy taking a lot of curb, a little bit wide. Takes that one of the Hot Wheels markers. He's a bit slot. He had a bit of a wiggle there. Leaves a mark on the track. Okay, as he comes to the line, has he found the 3/10 he needs to take pole position?
No, he has not. He stays a 10th off, but he gets in the 204s. We're now waiting on Matt. Matt's in the pit, so we're waiting on Peaceful, an Overtaker. Sorry, Fury. Fury's the last man to set a lap time. Can he improve on 4th place position? That is the question. And Matt in the chat says, thought it was locked in with a laughing emoji. Well, you guys made the rules. I've now locked it in. Now I've seen the weather. And Fury, he improves. He goes second. 300ths off.
Yeah, 300ths off.
But it is Overtaker on pole position, Jamie. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, look at his final sector though. So much quicker than Fury. Nearly 3/10 quicker.
But Fury was massively strong in the first sector as well, so they would match each other in the second. But it is Overtaker on pole position with Fury starting alongside with him. Andy in 3rd, Matt in 4th, 5th is Emplava, 6th is Peaceful, 7th is D-Biggs, 8th is Sutty, 9th is Smoky Devil, 10th is Kelly. KLF, 11th is Argent, 12th is Emo Guy, and that is your order for the first race tonight. And we're going off the latest weather radar. And Peaceful, I have locked that in now. I have locked in for the latest weather, and wow, it's going to be an interesting. I am going to put that in because it is still time for that race to happen. But the interesting thing here, Jamie, is Overtaker is on the inside. He does not get the racing line. He gets the dirty side of the track.
He does. I think the person to look for in the background is going to be the BMW of Andy. We know the BMW gets lightning start, or I say lightning starts. It does get good starts. So he might look up the inside for turn 1. I believe in F1 as well, it's opposite. So where Fury is, that the position before him would be pole position, because if I remember correctly, whoever normally starts second on the grid is normally in the lead at turn 1. If we think back to 2015 with the infamous incident between Hamilton and Rosberg.
Yeah, definitely. So I do believe that the pit lane is the wrong. The order is the wrong way round, and you should be Overtaker on the racing line. But nonetheless, vote for a race winner here. Jamie, who do you think is going to take the win?
I can't put my money further than Overtaker, really.
I'm going to go for Andy for this one.
Yeah. I think it's all going to depend off the start. If Andy can get past Overtaker, I reckon, and the cars behind put him under some pressure. But if Overtaker gets the start, I reckon he can get himself into a bit of a rhythm and get away at the front.
Well, there is now a poll out for the guys in the chat as we now sync up here for round 7 of the Pro Championship here at the Circuit of the Americas. It's Overtaker on pole, Lamborghini leading the way. We're all green. And we're away here at Circuit of the Americas. An Overtaker gets a great start. Fury looked like he bogged down. He's gone straight to defend Andy there, as Emplava's right onto the back of him as well as they head up into turn 1. Fury leading the way of the pack behind, but he just gets a little tap as Emplava goes round. Peaceful is wide as well. Couple of boards going wide, but nonetheless we are through, and D Biggs has made a few places. He's up in the 5th place position as we head towards Magus and Beckett's section. The curbs here are lethal. They don't want to be running these too much, as Fury is right on the back of Overtaker in the early parts of this race, as some of the cars are slow.
Matt's made a mistake. Matt's gone off.
Matt has dropped down the pack. I think he's touched the curb and he's gone round. Matt is now at the back. Emo guy's touched the curb as well. So all these guys struggling here at the start of the race, but it is still Overtaker, but he's got Fury breathing down his neck.
Yeah, he's dropped Andy already, and Andy's on his own at the minute. D-Biggs isn't anywhere near him. He's under pressure from Emplava. Smokey's under pressure from Peaceful, and Peaceful's got no one behind.
As Peaceful gets a... As we see here, Overtaker's doing a bit of weaving down the back straight. We don't like to see that here at Simply Motorsport, so we might want to tone that down a little bit. But at the minute, Fury is ahead of Andy, and on the back of Overtaker. Is he going to try and send it down into the left-hander? No, he doesn't. He's going to be patient and wait a little bit longer. The pit window is end of lap 3 to the end of lap 10. And these guys, if they do get damaged, they will still have to pit again. Votes are out, and at the minute it's 50% reckon Andy is going to take this win. But Fury right now really pressuring the back of Overtaker right now.
Yeah, he is. He had a little mistake. Matt's already got past KLF and Smokey. Fury's having a look down the inside here. Overtaker covers, but Fury looks so much better in the corners, so maybe he's gone for a bit more hideout, a bit more downforce on that Mercedes.
Possibly so, as most of these guys running wide. Andy running wide there in the penultimate corner. All these guys pushing the limits. As Fury's hit the back of Overtaker, and around he goes. All that pressure, and he comes back on track. Nearly a dangerous rejoin there. He manages to get away with it, and returning back on track. He goes, oh, it's Sutty there, I think, had a wiggle.
Yeah.
But here comes Matt. He's going to use the toe off the back of that Mercedes. Fury slow to get going. Is Matt going to send it up into turn 1? Sutty's there as well. Sutty on the wheel here tonight. It's brand new G29, and he's having to go on that tonight as Matt sends it down the inside, and Fury just launches it around the outside, but loses out to Argent as well. So Fury really making a mistake in the final corner and losing multiple positions there. Down to 8. The Sutty's dropped it.
Yeah, Sutty's just run it onto the grass. Overtaker has already got a 2-second gap. Andy just doesn't look like he's got the pace at the minute. D Biggs is up in 3rd, Emplava 4th, and Matt is already back up into 5th. So a good recovery from Matt already.
A lot of drivers, I think, making mistakes, and so far nothing has been noted out in my notebook, which is good to see. But Fury is right on the back of Matt. Matt has a wiggle through there, not what he was, as he is going to be under pressure from Fury. As Fury right on the back, is he going to get really close to the back of him? He gets so close, as Emplava now is within a couple of tenths of D Biggs. D Biggs and Emplava with the perfect start that these two would have wanted, and now they are fighting for the podium positions. Emplava has really started to gel with this Mercedes recently. Yeah,
he is. He got podium in touring cars thanks to a brilliant strategy.
Yeah, don't remind me of that.
Yeah. him and John Boy with brilliant strategy in touring cars. If you didn't watch it after tonight, go back and watch it. It's one you didn't want to miss. So
once again,
yeah, after tonight, go back and watch it.
Yeah, definitely so. Watch the touring car races. You watch Emplava and John Boy absolutely mug me in the wet conditions in my Astra. It was quite embarrassing for myself, but nonetheless, Emplava giving a little bit of pressure to the back of D Big, so they now go on to the main straight to start their 3rd lap here already, and most of this race has been relatively clean and sensible so far. A couple of guys at the back just swapping positions. Smoky Devil has dropped to the back. Emo guy at the back as well. Sutty and KLF at the back really struggling as well. The two Audio Sport Pro Laps boys really struggling in these hot conditions, but it is Overtaken with a 2.2 gap. Peaceful is now on the back of Argent.
Yeah, Peaceful has a look. That's not going to work. Definitely not going to work unless Argent drops the car. No, Argent has kept position. Fury and Matt are still having their battle, but as you said at the start, someone's made a mistake. I think that's D Biggs. D Biggs has gone off, so Herovich is now going to be right on the back, so Emplava is now up into third place.
Once again,
Andy's made a mistake as well, because Emplava's now on the back of him.
Emplava is getting closer. Emplava getting stronger with each race he comes. This young man, this young Latvian, getting stronger and stronger. Started in Pro-Am, and that's Argent in the wall. He's made a mistake. That's going to allow the two Lamborghinis through, having their own little joist right now. The two Lamborghinis of KLF and Sutty having a good little scrap between one another. But Argent has dropped back. Fury still right on the back of Matt and can't seem to find a way through, who is now on the back of D-Biggs, who's made that mistake. And D-Biggs, after a great win out in Imola, he's now under pressure from the two Mercedes boys. And here comes Matt. He's looking to the outside. Is Fury going to take advantage of it as well? As Matt moves under braking there. And just comes a little bit close to Biggs as he starts chopping his nose off.
Yeah, I think Matt thought he'd got the move done by going all the way around the outside of him, Josh Cook style, but he hadn't got the position. He's got to look for the Golf Mercedes, because that Golf Mercedes is looking up the inside every opportunity.
Fury is really pressurising the back of Matt. This will really start to frustrate him. He knows that Overtaker is way out in front. I think Overtaker had a little... Overtaker's made a mistake, I think. Oh, no, he's in the pits. No, he's the first man to pit. He's getting it done.
Yeah, but it's the pit window, not the end of lap 3.
It is the end of lap 3.
He's pitted too early. He's pitted at the end of lap... No.
No. He is pitted in the right window. So has Emplava. Before you say anything else, they have all pitted within the correct window. Matt is now still right on the back of D-Biggs, but Fury is even closer and is looking to the outside of Matt. Matt wants to have a good exit here. Fury has run a bit deep. Run a bit tight and wheel spinned up. Biggs went wide. Sutty also into the pits. All these guys getting their pit stops done and out the way. Do you think these guys are just trying to cool their tyres off earlier on so they can keep pushing on later on as well, as these three have pulled well away from Peaceful, but Peaceful's sticking with them. He's not too far away, actually, if I say that.
No, if D-Biggs defends quite a bit, which he is doing, Fury's looking at the back. Matt is...
He's between a rock and a hard place right here, isn't he? He's unable to get past the Audi of D-Biggs, which is defending really well, but then you've got Fury. He's pressurising him so much, and he looks to the inside of the hairpin, and he gets right on the back of Matt, gives him a little kiss as well, but that's just going to affect those two's run, and D-Biggs is able to just get a better traction there, and these two aren't able to take advantage of the Mercedes grunt.
Yeah, Fury is now getting a double toe, one off the Mercedes, one off the Audi. Is Matt going to look up the inside? I think he has got the inside. This time it is D-Biggs going to hold it all the way around the outside. D-Biggs tries to hold him all, tries to go side on the brake, but Matt gets the job done. He has a little look back up the inside. There's a little touch, but
Fury's down the inside as well, and he's made a massive mistake there. That's really not the best overtaking position, and he's cut the track as well. So Fury there, just a little bit sketchy there.
And so with that spin, he would have lost the position to Peaceful, and he's cut the track and gained a position over Peaceful. So that one might be one to look at. But D-Biggs was
Fury was already ahead of Peaceful. Fury's come into the pit, so Fury's actually lost time. I think what happened there, the car twisted, went straight on. I think the best for him was to go across the track and try and make it to get back on track. He did lose that time, but Fury now into the pits to try and cool those tyres down. But Biggs is right on the back of Matt right now, as Peaceful is not too far behind either. As KLF also in.
Yeah, KLF comes in. Biggs runs a little bit wider, and that gives Matt a little bit of breathing. Andy up the front, doing 2:06s at the minute. What was Overtaker's out lap? That was a 2:17 last lap. So Overtaker in 5th place.
The important thing to note is here, though, Jamie, Overtaker is in clear air. Look at where he is. He has no one in his way. We reckon that it's going to be a 30-second stop. So at this minute, Andy will need to hope that something happens to Overtaker for anything to really go his way. And I think Biggs is struggling once again because he has got Peaceful right behind him now, just within a second of him. So Biggs just seems to be pushing a little bit too hard on his tyres, I reckon.
Yeah, so he might have got the wrong pressures, or his tyres just haven't come up yet. Fury is on the back of Smokey Devil. Is he going to be as forceful with Smokey as he was with with Overtaker and D-Bit and Matt.
Yeah, so Fury now onto the back of the Smoking Hot Racing or Smokey a Devil. Can he find a way through and try and score some points for Teletubby Motorsport as Mazda's not here to erase? As Smokey Devil drops it in the hairpin. That's a shame for him, and Fury is on its way with another position.
Yeah, that was relatively easy there for Fury. Smokey just pretty much opened the door, and Fury took the keys and kicked Smokey out.
Definitely so, and all these guys just seem to have strung out a little bit. They're all trying to probably look after their tyres. I know the rears will be absolutely screaming here in these hot conditions here at the Circuit of the Americas. But at this minute, Peaceful is in that 4th place position, still yet to pit. We know that Emplava and Fury have both pitted. They were both ahead of Peaceful. And how long do these guys take it as D-Biggs is now into the pits?
Yeah, he's into the pits. Is anyone else going to come into the pits? Is Emo Guys, they'll drop it at the penultimate corner. He overcorrected a bit too much. Argent goes through, Emplava goes through. Where's Fury? I think Emo Guy's going to come into the pits, but he's lost a lot of time there.
He has indeed, and into the pits comes Emo Guy onto the limiter there, and Fury goes past. D-Biggs is on his way out. He's just coming to the end of the straight. Where is Fury? Fury is just coming up to turn 1 with him. This is going to be close. Fury to the outside, D-Biggs to the inside. D-Biggs has just outbraked himself a little bit there, but he manages to get it stopped as Fury comes right onto the back. The Golf livery Mercedes is right on the back of the Hot Wheels Audi. Teletubby Motorsport versus a Power Limits Racing as they go through the RTR S's here, and Emo Guy in the pits now. But look at the pace that Fury has through here. He just seems to have a little bit more confidence than D-Biggs, but again, Fury is stuck behind him.
Yeah, he is. But Overtaker last lap was half a second quicker than Andy. Fury's going to try and look around the outside. It's not the best of places because D-Biggs are just running wide.
I know.
He's going to have a look. He's going to have a look to the inside here. He's got half a car, and he's going to have the move done.
The thing is he going to outbrake himself, and then is D-Biggs going to try and get the run underneath? No, he doesn't. So Fury makes another position, and he calculates that a lot better. But the question is, Andy out in front with Matt in second are both lapping relatively similar, but Overtaker is massively quicker. He's almost caught Peaceful already just with pace. So I think the thing that Andy's hoping here is that Peaceful will hold up Overtaker a little bit and just get caught up with a little bit of incidences so that Andy can overcut him instead of undercut him.
Yeah. So I think Overtaker's pace is too much. At the
Matt's
minute.
into the pit.
Matt comes into the pit, so I have to see where he comes at relative to D-Biggs and Fury.
And also Peaceful into the pit, so Overtaker is now released. He should clear the pair of them quite easily as KLF now onto the back of Smokey Devil. Just taking his time, being easy with the throttle, and know he's been struggling with these hard tyres. Guys, there is currently a poll going out for the winner of this race. Please vote in as it's 3 apiece so far to Andy, Fury and Matt. No one going for Overtaker at this stage. But at the minute, KLF is on the back of Smokey Devil. And we're still waiting for Smokey, Argent and Andy all to come into the pits.
Yeah, Peaceful's now come out of the pits. I think there is about a 3-car train just ahead, which is Fury, D-Biggs and Peaceful. I think Matt has come out around Argent and he's jumped Emplava.
He has jumped Emplava, and Emplava will be getting frustrated now because he is behind the back of Argent. He'll want to clear him as soon as possible so he can get onto the back of Matt. So at this stage, Matt is now in a net 3rd position, but Andy currently staying out for as long as he possibly can. Lap 11 is the end of the pit window, so he won't be long until they have to come in, and we're already half distance, Jamie.
Yeah, we are already half distance as Kelly's just made a mistake there and dropped off the back of Smokey Devil as we now cut Emplava. Is he able to get the run on the Audi coming into the deep braking zone? He's in the slipstream. Is he going to come to the inside? He moves to the inside. Is Argent going to cover? But he's not close enough. Argent might he outbrake himself? No.
Argent did seem a lot better on the brakes there, and he got a little bit further ahead of Emperava. Emperava might have to be a bit more clever about this, try and find the right time to get the good traction. And still, Argent still yet to pit, but there is Fury in the background. He's looking to hunt down Emperava, and Fury is lapping half a second faster than Emperava at this stage. So Emperava really needs to clear Argent as quickly as he possibly can, because Matt's getting away and Fury is catching him.
Yeah, Fury was actually 1.5 seconds quicker that last lap than Emperava, as Argent, I think, is now bailing for the pits.
He is into the pits. Argent now into the pits. We just wait for Smokey and Andy to come into the pits. Andy with an 18-second gap over Overtaker, but I don't think that's really going to be much help for him, as now Emperava move up into 4th, Fury up into 5th, and D-Biggs now goes into 6th. Peaceful making a place also, as KLF has passed Smokey, and I think Smokey's made a mistake somewhere, and I think Smokey will be opted into pit. In he comes.
Yeah, so he will lose a place to Slutty Apex, and I think Emo Guy as well, because Emo Guy is now going to come around the final corner. So unfortunately for Smokey Devil, he is going to be at the back. I tell you what, Emperava I thought he was within a second of Matt. I think that was just the times, just going back and forth. Andy could be in trouble here because he might lose out to Matt.
Well, the last couple of laps here, Matt and Emperava has been losing some time to Fury. Fury did a 2:06.6, while Emperava did a 2:07.9. So Emperava really hampered there by Argent. He runs very wide there, and he's going to lose even more time as Fury can see the black and yellow Mercedes. It is Mercedes in 3, 4 and 5, but they are being stopped at the minute by the Lamborghini and the BMW of Andy. But Andy, when does he decide to pit? It's lap 8. Here he is. He's pitting now.
Oh, I think he was a bit deep. He's hit the wall.
Oh,
He's hit it side on, so he should be okay, but he'd have lost probably about half a second from doing that. He looked very deep coming in. Overtaker is now going to come into the penultimate corner.
Andy's gone. Andy's moving already. So Overtaker, Overtaker taking a lot of track limits there. He run very, very wide through the penultimate corner. If he improves on a 2:06.3, we might have to investigate that fastest lap, because that was a lot of track limits. Towards the line he comes. It was a 2:06.8. So he does not improve, but that was very wide from Overtaker. As Andy now comes back out, and it's about 20 seconds, I reckon, actually, the pit stop window, if you have a good one. So it's about 20 seconds, we think, Jamie.
Yeah, so Andy has managed to really claw onto the back of Overtaker. So if Overtaker makes a mistake, that BMW is going to be there to capitalise.
So yeah, Overtaker, Andy and Matt, you're leading through at the minute. Emperava currently in that 4th place position, but he is being hunted down by Fury. Fury's last lap, a 2:05.9. Fury is pushing right now. As we see around, there is clouds gathering here. So we're starting to get a little bit of cloud cover as we come into the last part of this race. And Fury, everybody's pitted now. Fury is trying to hunt down the smoking hot racing of Emperava.
Yeah, Fury taking a little too much curve there, and he has a little wiggle that he can smell blood with the Mercedes with the 2 Mercedes in front. I think he just looks so much deeper on the brakes, and he's just able to get the car stopped.
He just has more pace, doesn't he? He just seems a lot stronger. Another double check with the weather just to make sure that I know that the weather is correct, and it is correct. So we are going to have an interesting final race here, but we are focusing on race 1 at the minute, and Fury is starting to hunt down Emperava. This is for points, good points here. Fury needs to start scoring good points, because at the minute the main championship leaders are pulling away on the points, and Andy as well, who's only a point behind Fury, is in 2nd place and scoring some decent points. And Smokey's into the pits once again, so obviously he's had another incident somewhere. But Fury much better through sector 3 there into the Istanbul section. Is he going to try and do a Max Verstappen? He's going to have to wait for the right opportunity, as Emperava, 2 young guns here, both under the age of 18, I believe, these 2. So both of these drivers very, very young, and we'll see how these 2 get on.
Yeah, Fury's going to look for drivers. Emperava's gone wide. This is going to present the chance that Fury needs.
as Emperor is now moving his car to the middle of the circuit. He's only allowed to make one move. He's in the middle of the track. Fury's going to have to make a decision as Smokey comes back out. Fury's opting the outside, and he goes right around the outside. Is he going to try and get the better drive? He actually loses the rear, and that has caused him to just lose a little bit of time as he goes through the S's. This should be interesting now as Fury's right on the back as they head to the Maggots and Beckett sections of turn 4, 5 and 6. Can he get past Wade the Latvian? He can't at this minute.
No, he can't at a minute. He's going to be looking for a decent drive onto that back straight or somewhere where he can just duck up the inside. I think KLF has now lost a position to Argent. These two keep swapping positions as Argent's actually off the track, and that's going to try and hang it around the outside. I think Argent's got a C position there just for the meanwhile.
It's kind of driver's code to go through Maggots and Beckett side by side and just pull out. It's not really doable as Argent makes the sensible decision and lifts and allow Kelly to go through that section. But at this minute, Fury is still on the back of Impala, but I'm pretty sure Argent will be able to get another stab at it. But while those two are too busy squabbling, Sutty Apex is also caught up, so maybe Kelly's starting to push him into Argent. But Fury looking around the outside here of the Mercedes of Empalava, but he gets the undercut and gets the job done.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cutback. Empalava looks to back up the inside, but Fury has got the line covered, and Fury is up into 4th. And now, can he go after Matt Ahimovic? Fury sliding it through the corner. Will now cut back.
The pole is now over for the race win, and at this minute, Fury has got 40%, whereas Andy 20, Matt 20, and Overtaker 20 with 5 votes in the chat there. And Fury is looking like he's going to take the win on the votes there. But look at this as Arjun is in between a Audio Sport Pro Lap sandwich right now, and the leaders starting to match each other than Overtaker and Fury, who are both in the 206, the low 206s, while Matt and Andy are struggling in the 207s.
Yeah, Fury was actually in the 207s that last time, but he was stuck behind Empalava.
So as you get...
Peaceful's got Peaceful was 2 minute 8, but I think he was in the of the Lamborghini of D Biggs.
He is starting to catch D Biggs ever so slightly. He's found 6/10 over his. As Argent has to look down the inside in the final corner, and KLF can't find a way through. These three having a great little scrap as now Sutty Apex looking to try and make a move, and Sutty on the wheel for the first time, and he looks like he's not doing too bad in that car.
No, see, he made a mistake early on. Argent having another look up the inside. He's going to go deep. Is this going to present a chance to Sutty? Sutty gets a drive out of the corner, but can't get up around the outside. There's no chance unless he's got the biggest balls in the world. But say this is Sutty. We know he's got the biggest balls in the world. He had a look there.
Oh, both him and Argent had a wiggle mid-corner, and that's allowed them both to just lose off the back of KLF. KLF really playing the trolley train right now and holding these two up.
Yeah, Peace has got past D-Biggs as well, but D-Biggs is right on the back of...
Yeah, I think possibly D-Biggs made a mistake in the hairpin, and he's going for the inside for the corner. Peaceful decides to go right back to get the racing line. Biggs down the inside. Is Peaceful got the job done? They go side by side. Peaceful still on the inside. Biggs on the outside. Biggs with better drive. But Peaceful with the racing line. He's able to stay in front. Biggs is going to try and muscle it out so he has the inside for the next section as well. But he's not going to be able to do it as Peaceful still defending the inside. Brilliant racing from these two. Great driving craftsman here from these two. And it is Peaceful who comes out on top. D-Biggs losing out of place.
Yeah, and the other Audi has just lost... Oh, the other Audi had lost out of place. Sutty up the inside of him. Yep, he's now about to lose a place unless he can do what his teammate could. Fury's already on the back of Matt. Argent back up the inside, so he done what his teammate couldn't.
Brilliant stuff and there from Argent.
D-Biggs has made a mistake as well. He's dropped 5 seconds off Peaceful.
Possibly touched the curb and just spun the rear, but his Overtaker, lap 12, way out in front, doing 205s, and also Fury now in the 205s. Those guys have checked out, but Fury now on the back of Matt, 6:10 separating these two. This is for a podium here, and Fury and Matt right now battling it out to get onto the podium. Matt wants every point he can get, so Overtaker doesn't get too far ahead, while we got weather creeping in right now. As we started with 12, the top 6 cannot qualify. So Overtaker, Andy, Matt, Fury, Emperor, and Peaceful, all at this stage will not be able to qualify.
Yeah, none of the championship protagonists have had a bad race there, so they're all in that top 4 at the minute, so none of them are losing that massively. But Overtaker is going to gain if Fury can get past Matt, then Overtaker is going to gain a load of points over Matt. Fury comes to the outside. Is he going to go for the cutback? We know Matt is a tougher cookie to pass.
Fury hits the back of Matt there, gives him a bump, so we know Matt is going to fight this one to the death. He wants every single point he can get. He knew that in the Pro-Am Championship he had to keep going right to the very end, and he knows in the Pro it's going to be just the same way. As Fury looks down the inside of Matt, and Matt's going to have to give him space, but they go through the Istanbul section, and Fury's not going to do it on the outside.
No, he's going to... Oh, he nearly tapped the back of him again. Argent's lost out to Emo Guy, so Argent has made a mistake.
And Matt is defending for his life as we now start lap 13 here for the final stint of this race, and Fury is putting massive pressure on Matt, and he gives him a bump. Both these two are Pro-Am champions, both still yet to become Pro champions here at Simplay Motorsport, but Fury with 1 championship to his name, Matt with 2 after winning the F1 championship back out in Brazil. But right now Fury is trying everything he possibly can to find a way past Matt right now, but he can't seem to do so.
No, he can't seem to do so at all. Matt is doing what you did on Tuesday night, seeming to play Fury. So that didn't work. Your Plato technique didn't work out too well on Tuesday night. It's as in touring car fashion, you just got shuffled out of the way. But Fury can't do that in a GT3 because these are completely different cars, and if he shuffles Matt out the way, he might incur a penalty. So he doesn't want to do that. Fury's going to look to the outside of the hairpin. He's going to possibly get a better run. Matt has gone quite deep as Fury's going to try and go all the way around the outside. Matt's of course going to put him.
Fury's gone off track. He's going to have to lift. He's going to have to give the position back, because if he keeps that move, he has done that off track. And Fury now on the outside. Matt is not going to allow this to happen. Matt has actually got better straight line speed than Fury here, and Matt's going to make it to the corner first. And you can just see in the background, Emprava is also not too far behind these two, and Fury loses the rear. Matt losing the rear as well. Both of these two squabbling. Matt's going to play this smart. He's going to have to and not muscle his way through, but Fury touching the curb a little bit and loses traction. That's going to give Matt a better drive around the outside. Great racing from these two. No contact made.
Yeah, no contact made whatsoever. Fury didn't get the position, so he won't be under investigation for getting a drive or getting a pass off track. Matt is defending for his life here for the final step of this podium.
Can he do it one more time? Fury seems to be a lot stronger in the first sector than Matt. So can Matt just hang on through the first sector and the hairpins? Matt seems to have better straight line speed as we now start the final lap here. Overtaker now starts his final lap. He goes through Magnus and Beckett, and he was actually a second slower than Andy. So maybe Overtaker starting to overheat his tyres or cruise to the end, but we don't know sure. But at the minute, Fury looking to the outside, and he just clips the back of Matt.
He does. Matt, is Fury going to try and get him done here? He's going to have an outside run, surely not round here. No, he thinks better of it.
Matt is defending for his life here. Excuse me. Fury much stronger through Magnus and Beckett as he comes through to the slower section. He just needs to stay close to him. He needs to get the run into the hairpin. Emprava not too far behind these two as they're too busy squabbling. He's lapping faster than these two.
He is. If these two come to... Has Overtaker's
made a mistake. Overtaker's made a mistake.
He's got
he's low on fuel. Look how much fuel he's got. He's got 1.3. He's have to put it in lean. Andy could be on a race win here.
Overtaker is now going to be defending for his life as well as Matt.
Oh my god. Overtaker has misjudged his fuel. It says 14 laps. He's down to 1 litre. He should be able to make it to the end, but he's going to be very slow. Andy is not quite close enough. Overtaker, I think, is just going to hang on by the skin of his teeth here.
Here comes the BMW. The BMW is there. Can Andy get a run out of the penultimate corner? He's right on the bumper. Andy doesn't get the run. He gets a wheel. Can he send it into the final corner? No, he's not going to from there. He is. He's going to have a look.
We're going to have a look down the inside. Andy gives him a shove. Overtaker goes wide. They're going to have a run to the line. It's Andy. Overtaker. They hit each other. Who's quickest to the line? I don't know. Who's it going to be? It's Overtaker. Oh my God.
Overtaker, but I think by 300ths of a second. Fury going to try around the outside of Matt. He can't get it. Matt is going to be on for a podium here.
What a finish we have here. Matt is going to just hang on to third place position. Wow. As Emperor is going to come home for fifth as well. He's not going to be able to qualify for the next race, nor will the man in sixth place position. Peaceful Explosion, a quiet race for himself. He done a fantastic job for him. Wow. As PMO says, not enough fuel for a sample from the Lamborghini, says PN Motorsport. But D-Biggs is going to come home in 7th. He will be able to qualify, as will KLF, Sutty, Emo Gaia, and Argent. And look at these two dueling it out for the final few positions here. Smokey with a good recovery, not recovery, sorry, he's in 12th place position. He will come last in this race. But wow, Jamie, 2:13 was Overtaker's last lap.
Yeah, nearly 7 seconds gained by Andy on that last lap. So Overtaker is going to be counting himself lucky that he managed to get that win.
Very lucky, as KLF comes home 8th, Sutty 9th, Emo Guy will come home 10th, and Argent will come 11th. Smokey already finishing as well. But it is Overtaker with the win by by his badge, pretty much.
400ths of a second. I'm questioning whether that is the closest finish we've had at Simplay Motorsport.
Possibly so. That was right to the line, but Overtaker takes the win here. Andy in 2nd, 3rd is Martinovic, 4th is Fury, 5th is Emplava, 6th is Peaceful, and those 6 will not be able to qualify for race 2. 7th is D-Biggs, 8th is KLF, 9th is Sutty, 10th is Emo Guy, 11th is Argent, and 12th is Smoky Devil. Guys, make sure you tune in a couple of minutes time, as we will have a race 2 underway. What a first race we've had here at COTA. Overtaker just grabs it by a badge here for the first race, as we will be right back with the top 3 and their reactions. But don't go too far. Just grab a cup of tea, grab a drink. Be right back in a moment's time. Whew. I think we're clear. Just be careful what you say, because Matt seems to forget to unmute us at times. Let's get those 3 in, shall we? Sweet. I've got to make an edit to the stream. Fastest lap was Fury, I think, as well. So Fury got the fastest lap.
Yeah, 2-minute 5.4 for Fury.
Are we clear, Matthew?
You are, yeah.
Oh! Did you also hear that Overtaker nearly ran out of fuel?
Yeah, Mike said. I think Mike's listening to the stream. Mike said. Thought the weather were locked in at Q6, Dan.
Oh,
Fucking
shut
terrible.
up. Shut up, man. You're going to be happy with what's happened, alright?
I know what's happened, I've heard.
Right.
Oh, what a race.
Overtaker,
Wow.
you lucky, lucky boy. You lucky boy.
Yeah, that was a close one.
Oh, I need a wee. 2 secs.
By the way, guys, I have checked the weather and it has changed. So,
Nice.
oh, you lucky boy. You lucky, lucky boy.
Yeah, close one.
Were you in lean for the rest of that?
Yeah, I was lean before the last lap, and I was lifting off in the middle of the straight. I was in shock. I was already thinking what I'm gonna say in the interview, and then my engineer said low on fuel, and I was like, wait, what? I don't know how that happened. How underfueled by 1 lap.
Andy, you must be so annoyed. Andy, you there?
Sorry, my mic was on mute. I was fucking gutted. Seriously, I thought I had it. I fucking thought I had it. When I came out of the last corner and I out-dragged you up to the line in the initial acceleration phase, and I thought, fuck, I think he's run out of fuel. And then all of a sudden, I see you pass me with about fucking 2 yards to go.
Yeah, I was putting it on the reach and closed my eyes.
Wow.
Mate, I thought I had you out the last corner because I knew you were struggling with fuel, it was obvious. And so I thought if I just send one into the last corner, it might catch you off guard and you might not have enough fuel for the fight. But, fuck, man.
Yeah, I haven't noticed my fuel. So I was pushing to until I have the warning.
I fucking threw my headphones across the room as I crossed the line. Literally, I'm fucking annoyed about that. I should have capitalised on that.
I'm just doing it as well.
Surprised they're still in one piece. That's so deflating. But well done. Yeah, I mean, you deserved the win, but I just thought I had it at the end.
I thought Fury was faster than me, based on the lap time.
Yeah, he did the fastest lap at 2:05.4, didn't he?
Yeah, he was closing on me the whole race.
I couldn't quite match your pace. I was just a little bit off of you. Not by much, but just a bit.
I mean, I was super inconsistent. My laps were 1.5 seconds up and down all the time because of the first sector.
I thought the first sector, you were really quick in the middle. But the first, I was quicker than you through the S's, and the rest of the lap you seemed to be pulling away. I was closing on you through the S's, and then the rest of it was just nope. You were just gone.
Yeah, I was super careful on the SS because I'm on the path, and once you lose it on the curve, it's over.
Oh shit.
Oh, we're
How the
missing
fuck are you on the pad?
Fury and... Who else are we missing? Who else are we missing? Fuck me. Who
So
am I
did
missing?
Fury get Max?
No.
On the last lap.
Nope, Matthew's in here.
No.
Yeah, boy.
Some drive, Matt, considering you dropped it.
Yeah, that was funny.
Who are we missing?
Smokey and Overtaker.
Nah, Smokey's here.
Oh,
I'll overtake you. You need to join the
Overtaker
lobby.
and Fury.
I don't have an invite.
We should have.
Oh, I have it now. Sorry guys.
Oh, that's alright, we're waiting on Fury yet, anyway.
So, Dan,
Hello.
do I have to pit in this second race? Do I have to pit?
What do you mean pit?
Do I have to come into the pits?
Yes, you
Do I
do
have
have
to
to
make a pit stop?
Yeah, you do have to make a pit stop.
Why?
That's the rules.
But what if I don't?
Then you disqualify.
Then you're disqualified.
What if I stab the race director?
Stab the race director. Are you going to come to Cornwall and stab me?
I'm not saying you're not the race director though.
What?
You're gonna come.
Oh, is it? Are you worried?
You're the race steward. Oh, well, technically, actually, Jamie is the race director. I didn't mean like that. I mean as in like the Michael Massey type race director,
do we get to
not
stop
the
Jamie
not the
and
TV
Dan?
director.
I'm in for this.
No.
I'll
why are you stabbing
DM you,
me?
but let's use Wicker because we don't want to use anything else, Matt. Let's use Wicker.
Why are you stabbing me?
I'll send you more Wicker me on Discord.
Why not? You said at 6:15 the weather was
Matthew.
locked in, and now you've changed your mind.
Matthew, shut up.
Yeah,
Andy,
well, when have we got thunderstorms when it's supposed to be dry?
Andy,
that?
I've screenshotted it. I have the exact times, and it is thunderstorms. I'm not going to say anything else.
So it dries out.
I'm not going to say anything else.
So we've got dry weather after the thunderstorms. Cool. All right.
Also, Andy, make sure you
Dan, ready to go.
have your pit limiter ready.
You cheeky bastard.
Your boys ready, yeah?
Do you know what? The reason why I did it last week was because I obviously it was off for the first race, and so I thought it was going to be the same for the second race.
Have you updated tables, Matt?
Yeah.
Good man. Overtaker's pissing this now.
Yeah, I am.
Ooh, deep bits now there.
Sorting in, Mr. Ray.
Shut up.
He didn't ready up, he had about 3 seconds and just pressed it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sim Play Motorsport, and what a race one we've just had. Overtaker just taking a win by the skin of his teeth, and Matt just hanging on to a third place position. We do have the top 3 in with us right now, but first things first, we'll run through the championship standings. Overtaker still leads the way and 17 points ahead of Matt in second. Andy is a little bit closer to the guys now, especially to Matt. He's only 20 points behind him in third, with Fury dropping down to 4th place. D-Biggs moves his way up into 5th place ahead of Mazda in 6th. Peaceful is now in 7th. Gary's dropped down to 8th, and in 9th is Emo Guy. KLF in 10th position. Sati in 11th. Those boys can't seem to leave each other alone. Emperava is now in 12th position ahead of Smokey. 14th is Monkey Boy. Argent is in 15th place position. The teams looks like this. Sonos and Lambos have extended their championship lead. Have taken the lead away from Jaeger Motorsport. 16 points ahead of them, with Teletubby Motorsport in 3rd place. Slingshot Motorsport in 4th place position on 117, with Pushing Limits Racing in 5th with 92 points to their name. Audio Sport Pro Labs with 488. Simplay Racing on 77 points in 7th, and Smoking Hot Racing in 8th place overall. So first things first, we will start with our P3 man, and Matthew. A bit of a bad start to the race, but a great recovery, but massive pressure at the end.
Massive pressure at the end, and a mistake at the beginning made by myself, really.
First things first, how is the Mercedes handling? Obviously, the hot conditions is what everyone's been struggling with. 60 degrees is track temperature, but not obviously just make the mistake in the start of the race. But Fury bringing you so much pressure towards the end. Did you think you were going to lose that 3rd place position?
Nah, I defended from him earlier in the race, and then he made a mistake, so I felt comfortable to defend from him again at the end. But the Mercedes, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to... Mine anyway, doesn't seem to want to just grip it through the S's and struggling on the exit of the corners and just struggling for pace. Fury's looked a lot better, I could see in the mirrors. He looked a lot better through the S's and things, but I felt comfortable defending from him.
Definitely. So, always just before we carry on, Matt, Jamie, we've got some wet weather kicking in now. The qualifying session, they've all gone out and they're all on dries. The weather is coming in. Andy's laughing at me for some reason because I obviously don't know what the weather's doing apparently, but it is now raining here at COTA. And Matt, we got wet weather coming our way.
All I can say is thank God.
You prefer the wet?
For the test I did earlier in the day, the Mercedes seems to be better in the wet round here than it is in the dry, so thank God for this.
Smokey just gets himself a grid penalty speeding in the pit lane, but go on, Matt.
One thing I'd like to say, I'm last again on the reverse grid hates me. It did it all last season in Pro-Am, it's done it every race this season in Pro. It hates me.
As it is properly raining now, as we got the spray coming off the back of the Lamborghini of KLF, but it doesn't seem to hate. It does seem to hate you. You're going to be starting last. What can you do from last?
We'll wait and see. Hopefully, a couple of guys have a few spins. Just get my head down and try and get ahead of Overtaker. That's got to be the goal, to try and pull some points back in the second race.
Well, best of luck in
Cheers, buddy.
in the next race, mate, and congratulations on the 3rd place.
Yeah, well done to Andy and overtake as well.
Cheers.
As we do now move on to Andy, and Andy, so close as Overtaker just pitches you at the line. I bet you are so annoyed about that.
I was seething. I was absolutely fuming as we came over the line because I thought I had it out of the last corner. I could see he was struggling on fuel. It was basically blatantly obvious. So you know, I knew what was going on, and I thought to myself, if he's running low on fuel, he might not be able to floor it all the way to the line. He might have to lift off. So if I could get alongside him and end up, you know, forcing a battle, forcing a drag race at the end, I thought I might be able to get him because he might run out of fuel before the line. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. His fuel just about hung in there, and he had the confidence to keep it floored, knowing that he was running low on fuel. And obviously, he just picked me at the end because the Lamborghini's got the grunt over the BMW. But it was frustrating because I thought I had it, and I wasn't really looking in my rearview mirrors. I was kind of just focusing on the track, trying to keep the car as straight as I could to make sure that I could get as much straight line speed as I could. So I thought he might have run out of fuel on the run up to the line because I could see that I'd edged ahead of him, and so I thought he might have run out of fuel and dropped back. So I kind of like felt like I had the win up towards the line, and then literally last second I just saw it on the graphic. I didn't even see him on the right. It was that close I couldn't even see him ahead of me. But I just saw on the graphic I was P2. I was like, you know what I felt. You know what I thought at that moment.
Well, nonetheless, you had a quiet race to yourself. You decided to go long at the start of the race by the looks of things. Everyone else went relatively even. Was your tyres just hanging in quite well, or was it more of a challenge than you thought?
The tyres were probably, well, as always, when they're fresh, you can get quite a lot of speed out of them when they're fresh, and it's really the graining phase when you're at the slowest. And obviously the fuel, the mix of the tyres wearing out and the fuel still being relatively heavy means the middle part of the race is usually the slowest part of the race. The start when you've got fresh tyres and the end when your fuel's starting to run down are the quickest times in the race. But I usually do my quickest laps in the first couple of laps and then start to get close to that again at the end. So the tyres weren't an issue. They were hanging in there pretty nicely the whole time. I was probably getting my most consistent laps were probably in the last few laps. But yeah, that wasn't really an issue. My main thing was obviously after Overtaker pitted, I wanted to keep the pressure on him because I knew that if I could stay out, it would keep him guessing. He would feel like he's chasing the race, as opposed to if I were to come in and then come out behind him, that would then ease the pressure off of him. So I wanted to keep that pressure on him, and that was really the reason why I went long. It was for that sole purpose, just to keep him guessing.
Well, nonetheless, you do get a second place. You bring the gap down to Matt a little bit. Overtaker extends his gap. You're going to be starting 9th place position for this race. As you can see out the car window, it's raining out there. What can you do for race 2?
I don't know. The BMW is all right in the rain. From my own experience, I've never driven it in thunderstorms. I don't think. I can't remember if Fuji. Was Fuji last season thunderstorms? I can't remember.
It was snow.
It was. Oh yeah, it was snow. Of course it was. I don't think I've ever driven this car in thunderstorms, not once. So it's going to be an interesting one for sure. It's unknown territory in a way, but it can't be too different from heavy rain. So. Well, I'll be trying my best. I'll be trying to make sure that I can stay out of trouble and not get caught up in anybody else's incidents and just be in the right place at the right time on this occasion.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on a second, and we'll let you get on and get prepared for race 2.
Cheers, Dan.
As we now move on to your race winner, who has won it by a hairline. Overtaker takes the win, and God, mate, that was very close. Not just for the win, but also with fuel as well. Bit caught out a little bit there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was caught out, but I had nice pace, so I wasn't. Andy said he was putting pressure on me. I always saw by the lap times that wasn't the case. I always had that 5-second gap on him, so I was driving confidently, but surely that he would beat behind me. So it was okay. It was okay.
other than getting really close to the fuel, you seem to have it relatively under control. When you pitted, you dropped into a nice window, you kept the car in a nice consistent window, a relatively quiet race until the end.
Well, not really. After I pit out of the pits, KLF was in front of me and I almost crashed 3 times into him. I don't understand his driving, but that's for the stewards. But yeah, on the last lap, I was playing it tactically. I only had 0.3 fuel in the tank, so I knew that if I let Andy into my slipstream, he would have me. So I slowed down into the last corner and then put it in the rich mix and floor it, and hope that my fuel doesn't run out. And I had 0.1 on the line. So.
Well, nonetheless, mate, you will be starting in 8th place. We got the rain now, and it looks like the rain is it's going to stay for most of this race. What can you do from 8th place?
With rain now, I don't know. We'll see. Never driven it on thunderstorm, so I think the experience will come with other drivers. But I'll hope to get some points in this race.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the race win, and we'll let you get prepared, ready for a race 2. As we go back to Jamie, and Jamie, look at this weather right now. We've got some heavy rain in the track, and Sutty at the minute on pole position, only just by 18 thousandths of a second over D Biggs, and D Biggs did that lap time relatively early. As Smokey goes very wide, and he drops the rear and into the wall.
That's his qualifying over next to come across the line. D Biggs is very wide. I can't. Kelly? No, there is a car in front. It is Emo Guy. Emo Guy coming into the last corner. Yeah, I thought D Biggs had pole position because I thought he got a time on the slick tyre, but that wasn't the case. Sutty's gone quicker. Can Emo Guy improve? He's only 7 tenths off. But yeah, there's rain. Emo Guy's
fastest.
Yeah.
Wow.
So KLF is into the pits. Who have we got next? It is Sutty Apex. Can he take that pole position back? He is only half a second off the pole position. We know how good Sutty is in the wet. Can he take pole position back? D-Biggs is back in the pit, so he's not going to improve. Sutty to the line.
Does he improve? That is a great... He does!
He improves, he gets pole position.
1 tenth separating to Argent is the last man to set a lap time here, even though it started off dry. The long circuit nature to stop the slick runners from putting a good lap time in. It's down to the wets. Sutty Apex in the Lamborghini on pole position here. Smokey Devil will have a grid penalty, so the best he will start at the minute will be a 6th place position. The worst he'll start, sorry, is 6th place.
Yeah, it'll be 5th place because Argent will go above him unless Argent improves. Argent comes to the line. Can he improve on 5th place? We'll have to wait and see. Did Argent improve? He did. He went up to P4. So Smokey will be starting 6th. So on pole position for the first time in a very long time indeed is Sutty Apex. 2nd place is Emo Guy. 3rd place D-Biggs. 4th Argent. 5th, Smokey Devil. He's got a grid penalty, so he'll be starting 6th. Next is KLF. Then Fury is the first of the non-qualifiers. Overtaker in 8th, Andy in 9th, Peaceful in 10th, Emplava in 11th, and Matt in 12th.
And that is your order here as we are about to get underway for the 2nd race here tonight. And here is the weather, Jamie. I did check the weather, and these boys are in for an absolute treat here tonight. Thunderstorm weather here at COTA. We don't know where this weather front has come from, but it is here, and this is going to be a dramatic race. The pit window will be still lap 3 to lap 11, but they just got to survive as the qualifying pole is over. I don't know why that's still going, but it is a Sutty Apex. Everyone thought that Biggs was going to be on pole, and I think most of us did as well, thinking that he was going to take that one, but we're just about to get ready. And Jamie, what do you do now? You've just done a dry race. Now you're going straight into a wet race. How do you prep yourself for this?
You've literally just got to survive. Say Matt said that he's done some wet testing. I don't know whether they've done any thunderstorm testing, but he'll have done some wet testing. So there'll be some people who know where the puddles form, but for this race, it is literally just going to be to survive.
It is indeed. Another poll is going up right now. Who is going to be our race winner? We'll take an opportunity here. Is it going to be Sutty Apex, D-Biggs, Andy, or Overtaker? That is your question. Or if you think it's going to be anybody else, then put your vote in the chat. 20 people currently watching. If you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, hit the bell to be notified as we're about to get underway. The lightning strikes. We're here at round 8 for a dramatic round here at COTA. Can Overtaker get enough fuel to the end? Is Sutty going to take a win? As we are green here in COTA, and Emo Guy with a decent start, as does KLF, as they all just squirm off the line. Sutty with a poor start, and his teammate's going to outdo him here, as will Emo Guy. Emo Guy will lead into turn 1.
He will. Oh, there's been a bit of contact, I think. Is there any cars around? I think KLF has just been put a bit wide. Overtaker is down into 12th place, so he said he's not done any thunderstorm testing, and he's struggling at the minute. But Emo Guy has taken the lead in this one, and has got half a second gap over D-Biggs. I think Smokey has cut the court, but actually I think that was Emplava. Andy's made a mistake. He's dropped down to 11th, and he's already 5 seconds off Emplava.
I think he's had contact with the likes of Emplava and Matt as they went down the hill. I briefly saw them, so Andy losing out massively, but Emo Guy with the jump here ahead of D-Biggs and KLF. I've lost a pen, so I'm at the minute looking around for a pen, and at the minute Emo Guy is pulling away, but the two Lamborghinis of KLF and Sutty are on the back. Sutty hits
just
KLF!
hit the back of Kelly. Oh,
no!
And then there's more contact. Matt, Fury's involved. Peaceful's gone wide. Where's Overtaker? Overtaker could
do the lot.
Overtaker's got ahead of Matt. Kelly's on the outside. Fury's on the inside. But no, Overtaker's on the inside. They're going to go 3 wide. This surely isn't going to work. Matt's going to look to get involved as well.
Matt's trying to get involved. Overtaker's down the inside of Fury and Sutty. And it's going to be Fury comes out on top, but they all go wide. Matt's dropped it!
Matt's had a wiggle and dropped it once again. Overtaker around the outside of Fury. There's contact there. Fury's dropped it.
Oh, these Mercedes are struggling here. They're all dropping down. The order Smokey down in 12th. Matt's down in 10th, and he's dropped it.
He's dropped it again. Overtaker's had the problem now. Can Emplava get through? Sutty is up into 4th place. At the minute, the two Powerline Racing Audis are 2nd and 3rd.
They are doing very well at the minute. Peaceful has also struggled in all of that. He's 7th, but Emplava and Overtaker from the back of the grid, they've been the biggest success out of this, but it's the two Powerline Racing Audis who are in 2nd and 3rd place for them. D-Big seems to have a much better race too, but it's Emo Guy who leads after lap 1 and Overtaker up into 5th place position. This rain is causing all sorts of chaos.
This rain is causing all sorts of chaos. That is so good in the wet. We know back from Sugo season 3 as Emplava goes off into another state. Peaceful gets through. Where's Matt? He's still stuck behind Smoky Devil. Andy in 10th. Peaceful gets on the curb. So as I was saying, Sutty, we remember him from Sugo. Put the slick tyres on in the wet. Nearly got pole position in the lawnmower.
Fury's gone off.
Fury's gone wide and he spun. Where's Matt? Andy's had another mistake.
Andy has had a mistake. He's dropped to the back. Sutty is up in 4th place. I think he's got ahead of Overtaker, or is he already ahead of Overtaker? He's really struggling here, as Overtaker's right onto the back of Sutty Apex as they go to the hairpin. Overtaker all over the curb and nearly drops it.
He's going to send it. Is he going to go deep? He's gone deep, and Sutty, thank you, Mumma, for the carrots. Have that position back.
As my mum just drops in and gives me my pen back as I left it downstairs. So thank you very much, Mum. As Emplava is now onto the back of Peaceful Explosion. And Peaceful is just struggling here as KLF has worked his way back up to 6th place position. So everyone making mistakes as Matt and Andy are the biggest losers out of this one.
Yeah, so I think Emplava has actually lost a position to Kelly and Peaceful. Overtaker has got back past Sutty. KLF and Peaceful are having a bit of a ding-dong. Can Peaceful keep it up the inside? He's trying, and he's got the position, but is Lamborghini going to get a run off the corner? No.
The Ferrari stays ahead of the Lamborghini of Audio Sport Pro Laps, and Kelly was hoping for a bit of wet weather as Emperava tries to go down the inside. There's a massive puddle on the inside there, and he comes off West. Lap 2 here, and they're all just tiptoeing their way around. D Biggs is just matching Emo Guy, but Emo Guy has got a nice smooth consistency out in front. Emperava goes wide.
What has happened to Andy? Look how far behind he is. He's half a lap.
Slicks.
He hasn't gone slick, says he. He's half a lap behind already. That's his race. That is his race done already. He can't have gone. He can't have gone slick.
Well, we'll go on board with him, see what his grip is like as he goes into the slow left-hander. I just think that BMW is just struggling. It just has no grip whatsoever. As KLF and Emperava are still quite close again. As also the Overtaker is catching onto the back of Argent slowly.
Yeah, so Overtaker is really capitalising on Matt and Andy making mistakes. So if Andy is on the wet tyre, he's got that set up horribly wrong. He's only at the he's only at coming towards the end of the lap. Matt, I think, has made another mistake. Look, he's 9 seconds off Smoky Devil.
And he was looking forward to wet conditions. He is struggling here. All these testing that these boys have done, and it's not worked out whatsoever. Matt really slow through the S's. Argent's dropped it. Oh, Sutty nearly drops it.
Yeah, Overtaker's on the podium now. He's got 10. The top two have gone. Emo Guy and D-Biggs have gone. Argent gets back through on Sutty for 4th place. Yeah, Matt was behind Fury, so he's lost out to Smoky Devil. I think KLF and Emperava, I think, are side by side. Emperava to the inside. Kenny's going to try and send it around the outside. Can he get the job done? Not quite, but I think Emperava had a bit of a wiggle. Kelly's up the inside. Oh, there's contact. Kelly's still there. Where's Emperava? Emperava's there, so he's lost out. That's Peaceful round.
Peaceful's gone round. All these drivers are now starting to get caught out by the conditions here. And what a race it's turned out to be. Emo Guy and D-Biggs could not have asked for a better start to this night. Start at the end to this night, sorry, as they have pulled away from Overtaker, and he's not really matching their pace right now.
No, he's about 3 tenths slower.
Emo Guy at 20. He's done a 2:18.1.
Yeah, Sutty has come into the pits already. What is Overtaker 2:20? So he's not liking these conditions. I'd say I've driven both the Lamborghini and the Audi in the wet, and they by 2 wins in the Lamborghini in Pro, both come in the wet conditions. Portimao and Alton Park, and the Audi very similar to the Lamborghini, loves the wet conditions. So your Porsche, you used to love the wet conditions in the Porsche.
Oh, well. I did. I love the wet conditions. As Sutty, Fury, Peaceful, Matt, all those guys have been into the pits. They're getting their pit stops done and out the way. What have they got to lose? As Emperava is still on the back of KLF and can't seem to find a way through at the minute.
No, he can't. D-Biggs has lost a bit of time to Emo Guy. He was very slow coming through that first sector. The gap is now at 4 seconds, and Overtaker's only 5 seconds behind. Matt's still in the pits. He might lose that to Smoky Devil here. I think Matt is on his way. Matt is now on the limiter. He is going to be a long way behind Peaceful Explosion, and his race, he's going to have, this second race is going to be very long.
Andy is only just caught onto the back of Matt.
Yeah, it's actually Andy. Sorry, I thought it was Smoky Devil, but no, Smoky's actually up in 7th. So Smoky.
In the chat right now, PN Motorsport says that these conditions are normal for Emo Guy, as he's a Scottish driver. He's used to rain and possibly a bit of snow as well, but Emo Guy is extending his gap. He is loving these conditions, as is D-Biggs. Emperava still can't...
I think Matt's made another mistake, because Andy's managed to get through. Matt's round again.
Matt is round again. He's going to be frustrated with this one, and there's no Gary to calm him down and keep him cool. Once you spin those tyres up, the wet tyres struggle to come back, and that's KLF round.
Kelly's now round, so that gives Emperava position. Oh, what? Last lap, what as the Emo Guy crosses the line? Emo Guy does a 2:18.9. What about D-Biggs? D-Biggs comes across the line. It's a 2:19.6. An overtaker. Is he going to be in the 2:20s or is he going to get in the 2:19s? He's now in the 2:19, so he was quicker than D-Biggs that last lap. But Emo Guy, the quickest man on track so far, Argent is 9 seconds behind.
He's still having a solid round though, even though he's not very fast. He's keeping it on track, unlike Smokey Devil, who's in the wall.
Yeah, Smokey's now on the wall, so he's going to have damage. Here comes Sutty Apex, who's pitted.
So are these guys thinking that the weather is going to pass, or do they think that at this stage the weather is looking like it's going to stay at this second? So
Sutty sends it into turn 1. Even if the rain stops, the track is not going to dry up. The track at the minute is perfect. For
Fury's round again. Fury just in the background of Smokey has just dropped the rear, and just sorry for a minute, I got a little bit distracted as one of my work colleagues is currently in Britain's Got Talent and trying to get their Titan the Robot. If anybody knows of Titan the Robot, he's in the semi-finals, so if you want to put a vote towards him, then please do so.
D-Biggs has made a mistake because Overtaker has got up into second place, and Andy once again has made a mistake. He has come into the pits. Make sure you get it stopped, Andy. Don't want to get disqualified this week.
And he's got into the pits, so he's going to get his pit stop done out of the way. And I think him, Matt, and Fury are going to have to throw this race away, as these wet conditions have favoured the likes of Emo Guy, Overtaker, Biggs, Argent, and Embrava. Even KLF is seeming to be quite happy in these conditions, and it's what these guys needed this season. It's what they needed to bring their championship back alive, as the top guys seem very good in the dry, but the wet weather's here and they are off the pace.
Yeah, they were really struggling. I'll tell you what Matt needs. Matt needs to get the 2022 Aston Martin out, because that is a real boat.
That is a real boat. And do you know what Matt would be loving? As Andy has retired. Andy's retired. That's going to be
He hasn't been caught speeding in the pit lane again, has he?
I don't know about that one, but we'll have to find out. Retired at the minute, but D-Biggs is into the pits.
Where is his teammate Argent? Argent obviously cannot pit. What about Emperor? Emperor could be up into P4 here, but he's run wide. Doesn't run that wide that he gets on the other tarmac, but he's going to be hunting that other Audi down. Is D-Biggs away? No, D-Biggs has got a long hold. So is he changing tyres here? Sutty on the back of his teammate
or
again.
has he got damage? If he's changing tyres, this is not going to be worth doing, as Biggs is back on track. These conditions are just not looking like they're lifting at all. It looks wet throughout the rest of this race. Matt well off the pace right now as Big is into the pits. I'm pretty sure Andy has either been disqualified or he is in retirement. I'm pretty sure we'll get an answer now, as Smithy says Pro-Am needs some weather like this in the exclamation marks as well. Overtaker not able to match Emo Guy whatsoever. Emo Guy the only man in the 218s. No, Peaceful's in the 218s as well. Peaceful's flying right now.
Peaceful is flying right now. He's going to be right on the back of Fury anytime soon. He's got Smokey Devil not far up, and Smokey's got damage. Emplava is on the back of Argent, but Emplava goes wide.
Let's think this through a minute, Jamie. Who was the first one? Andy said he's ran out of talent, and because of that, he has retired, so he will take a qualifying ban going into Zolder next week for retiring. So that's not going to help him out. So the lead car that's pitted is Sutty Apex, are we correct? So
yes, Sutty is the first man to have stopped. Then, is it Fury? Is Fury stopped?
Fury has stopped as well. I think Smokey Devil hasn't.
Peaceful and D-Biggs and Matt. But Matt is half a lap behind like Andy was. Emo Guy is into the bits. Get it stopped, Emo Guy. He's got it stopped. Is Overtaker going to follow him in? No, obviously he can't, because it's a silence of the Lambos. 1-2 at the minute.
It is a 1-2 for the silence of the Lambos. They are looking very, very good. I didn't even put Emo Guy for a race win at this minute, and he's leading his race at the moment as Argent is ahead of Emplava. Emplava wants that third place position. He wants a podium as Argent is into the pits, and this is Emplava's best chance to get a podium to match what he did in the touring cars earlier on in the week in wet conditions. He's in a Mercedes, and he's in a Mercedes again. Can he get another podium?
Yeah, the question is now going to be Emo Guy to Sutty. Sutty is coming around the final corner.
Emo Guy's got that no problem.
Emo Guy is away now. He goes up the hill towards turn 1. Where's Argent? Argent's only just away, so he's lost out to Sutty. What about Fury? Fury's going to get past Argent. And what about Peaceful as well? Peaceful is going to do Argent as well, so Peaceful goes up to 7th place and charges after Fury once more. But Emo Guy has done Sutty. So the only two people he's got to worry about now is Overtaker and Emplava.
Smithy in the chat saying go on Emplava. He is rooting for his ex-Pro-Am driver. Emplava obviously stuck behind Argent for a while. He's now been released. What lap times can he do as Overtaker is now starting to get in the groove? He's now in the 218s, matching Emo Guy, Fury, and earlier on Peaceful was in the 218s as well, but Fury looks like he's struggling now. He's on the back of KLF, grabs the curb a little bit, he has a wiggle, and Fury is unable to stick to the back of KLF in the Lamborghini.
Fury was in the 218s last lap as well, so Fury's got some pace in the wet, even if he is sideways.
Oh, Kelly's gone round.
Kelly's gone round, so where's Peaceful? Here comes Peaceful down towards the hairpin. I think Kelly's got away, but he's not in time for Peaceful to get past. See Smoky Devil in the background, who's got Argent all over the back of him. But Kelly loses 2 positions there, 1 to Fury, 1 to Peaceful, and plummets down to 7th place. But can he have a look back on the inside down the end of the straight? No, he's a long way back.
I thought Peaceful started to lose the rear then. I don't know if he's managed to make the corner. I think he has, but nonetheless, Peaceful is on his way. Can he get past Fury? Peaceful's in a great position here to start picking off people. He's got decent pace as well. So can he catch onto the back of Sutty? Argent gets close to Smokey there.
Yeah, I tell you what, as well, whatever D-Big's done in the pit stop has not worked at all. He was up in the podium positions. He's been jumped by Sutty, Fury, Peaceful, and Argent.
Pretty much the entire pack he has been jumped by. And at this minute, D-Big's currently down in 10th place position. Not the race he would have wanted. Overtaker carries on his way as he does a 2:18.6 as Emplava, poor lap that lap, a 2:21 as Emo Guy is bringing that gap down. Sutty also a 21 as Smokey comes into the pits.
Yeah, so this might be Matt special as Matt's
also
been
KLF.
off again. Matt's been off again, so KLF and Smokey are coming to the pit. So we imagine it's going to be KLF who comes out in front as Smokey might, well, more than likely be fixing his damage. He might also go for a set of the wet tyres, because in the wet race, oh no, he's away quick, and he's jumped Kelly.
Yeah, that's from Kelly. Maybe Kelly's had a little bit of damage. Both of these two struggling. Matt is at the back though and won't even catch these two at this rate. But it is still Overtaker who leads this race. But Emo Guy is matching his pace so far. The silence of the Lambos are doing phenomenally well right now.
Yeah, they are. Overtaker needs a good pit stop here because look who is 30 seconds behind. It's Sutty Apex, the pole position man, and he's got Fury only about 3 seconds behind him. I
think with the pace that Overtaker's producing, I don't think he'll struggle too much. We reckon it was about 20 to 25 seconds the pit window. We don't know about the wet weather though. As Overtaker, you could just hear him going so cautious on the throttle there. Pad runner as well. He uses the pad, and Overtaker comes into the penultimate corner. Is he going to choose to pit this lap? No, he's staying out for as long as he possibly can. So he's testing the conditions, and Emplava's gone round.
Emplava has gone round because he's lost out to Emo Guy. He needs to be getting in the pit lane right now. He will definitely lose out to Sutty Apex.
At this rate,
the chance of the podium has gone.
It's just Emperor and Overtaker to pit as Emo Guy now moves up into second place position. It's Silence of the Lambos once again leading this race, and Emperor listens to you, Jamie, as he's gone deep. He just misses the pit wall.
Yeah, manages to keep it out of the pit wall. When we done F1 around here, quite a lot of people actually put it into that wall. I think my teammate was actually one of them. I can't remember
I think he was, yeah. He'll tell you in the chat. I think PN is looking forward to the end of this season because he's had such bad luck this season. But it is Overtaker leading this race at this minute. He's losing time to his teammate Emo Guy, who's absolutely flying. Peaceful is slowly working his way up the pack, but all the top 4 now lapping quite similarly. Emo Guy and Fury and Sutty all faster than Overtaker that last lap.
Yeah, they are. I think Emperor just dropped behind D-Biggs. So D-Biggs has managed to jump Emperor because of his spin.
Not what Emperor would have wanted. He's a lot on the curb there. He's struggling there. Emo Guy looking strong for this win at the minute. But his teammate is still to pit. Where does he drop into? All the top 4 are lapping relative. Peaceful's made a mistake.
He has. Argent's managed to get up into 5th place, but Argent's made a mistake of his own.
Peaceful looking to make any opportunity out of that out of that Audi. He looks to the inside of the hairpin. He thinks better of it. He slows it down and he gets right on the back of the Audi, and there's nothing he can do. He can't find a way through. Does Overtaker come into the pits this lap? That is the question. Towards the final corner he comes, and I don't think he does. No. He's going to stay out. It's still a lap 11 he's got, and this weather is not lifting. It's staying wet, so he's not going to gain anything by going onto a slick tyre.
No, that wouldn't be the best strategy in the world. Peaceful trying to get back past Argent. Looked like he got a better run there. Is there that car spinning?
I think that was Argent. No. That was a sound of an Audi. I think it was Argent struggling to get traction down.
Yeah. KLF is now on the back of... KLF spun. And Smokey. So there's been contact between Smokey and KLF. This might give Nat a bit of hope that he might be able to break into the top 10. But he is some 14 seconds off the back. I think Fury had a problem, because Argent has just closed right up to the back of him.
Yeah, Fury seems to have made a mistake somewhere. Argent's on the back of him with Peaceful as well. Peaceful's gone with him. These guys, are they struggling with tyre wear now? The wet tyre. We said that the tyres were struggling through a heat cycle in race 1. Race 2, are they struggling with tyre wear? That is the question.
Yeah, they might be.
Fury's last lap, a 2-minute 31.
Look at Emo Guy last lap. 2 minutes 17.
Emo Guy is absolutely flying right now. 1.4 faster than his teammate, but Sutty Apex also 3/10 faster than Overtaker. Right now, the Lamborghinis are in a happy zone right now, other than KLF, who's had a moment. He's had a spin, so he's trying to recover from that. But those 3 Lamborghinis are flying. Sutty's dropped it now.
Yeah, Sutty's dropped it just as you say that. He might be into the clutch. Just into the clutches of Fury. Fury is 5 seconds down the road.
These are all points that Emo Guy and Sutty need. These two are struggling in the points at the minute, especially Emo Guy. This is the kind of race he wanted. Smokey is back into the pits once again. That's going to give Matt another position, and this is why you never give up, guys. There's always opportunity for points, and Matt is down the back straight. He's had another off. He's had a 2-minute 34. He is struggling in these conditions. The man who wanted it to rain, and it is raining, and he's struggling right now.
Yeah, 2-minute 29. That last lap was slow. I think it was, apart from Fury,
Overtaker finally in.
Where is Emo Guy? Emo Guy is now coming around to the end of the lap. How quick is Overtake pit stop going to be?
You might have to wait for Smokey. You have to wait for Smokey, I reckon. It wasn't quick. Maybe he was just being cautious on fuel. But Emo Guy is coming into the final corner. It's going to be close between the teammates, you know. Emo Guy has got much better pace, though.
Emo Guy has got this. Overtaker hasn't come off the limiter yet. He's still not come off the limiter. Emo Guy's gone past. There goes Emo Guy, and Emo Guy takes the lead back. D-Biggs on the back of Peaceful. The Audi's having a better showing as well. D-Biggs is having a look up the inside at the final corner. Peaceful comes to cover though.
D-Biggs has had to work for this after whatever happened into his pit as he's hit the back of Peaceful there. Whatever has happened here, he is now on the back of Peaceful Explosion. D-Biggs' pace has really pumped up here. He's done 217s as well. He's now done a 219, obviously hitting the back of Peaceful, but he did a 217 that lap also. Emo Guy and Biggs with the fastest laps. As there's Argent, he's dropped it.
There's Argent, he was battling with Fury.
And Plava's gone wide.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Plava seems to be happy on the outside of the track on most apexes. I don't think Overtaker, in all honesty, is going to pressure Emo Guy too much, considering it is his own teammate. He's in second. His closest championship rival, Matt Hemovich, is down in 10th. He's struggling. His other championship rival, Andy, is out. He should be very lucky. D-Biggs has made a mistake because Plava's got through and Argent's got back. So I say about the Audis having a better race, and both of them just made a mistake within a lap. And Argent's gone again.
Argent's gone run again. He's burnt those tyres up by the sounds of things, and he is struggling. You see there, he's spun back around. But what a race we are having here, as Fury is outscoring Andy, and Matt's here, so that will help him out. There's a vote out for driver of the day. Get your votes in as well. Doing a rain dance for the F1, says PN Motorsport. I doubt that's going to happen as we are in Abu Dhabi. But nonetheless, Emo Guy has looked so strong.
You never know.
You could never know, but Emo Guy has looked so strong here.
He has looked incredible tonight. What is his lap as he comes across the line? A 2:17.5. What about Overtaker? Overtaker, I think, has lost quite a bit of time.
This is his outlap, mine. So it's a 2:26. So yeah, an outlap. As that Bozzy Boy says in the chat, he doesn't want rain at Abu Dhabi. Stutty Apex coming through the final corner. He's starting to get Fury a little bit once again. But Peaceful, he's not too far off of a podium here. Peaceful would love a podium as we're coming into the last few laps here, Jamie. Oh, D-Biggs has dropped it.
Can he keep out the ball? He has. He gets it. He puts it back on the racing line as well. Sutty a 2:19 last lap. Fury a 2:20. Peaceful, has he come across the line yet? 2:21. So they're all starting to struggle again.
Tyre wear's kicking in. Tyre wear starting to kick in here. As guys, get your votes in for driver of the day, and please hit that like button. These guys are racing in the most difficult conditions here, and they are still putting on a fantastic show for you here tonight. And if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you are notified for when we are live Sunday night. Make sure you're here live at Simplane Motorsport as we have the final F1 race of the season, round 16, Abu Dhabi. Can Ferrari gain any more points? Can Jamie and PN Motorsport jump one more place ahead of Alfa Romeo? That is the question. And also, can Matt take another race win, or Gary, Sutty, any of those guys win? Can Big Boy Brazier get his first and only chance in the F1 Championship? Make sure you tune in on Tuesday night as well, as the touring cars will return to Silverstone National, and I believe there's where they're looking. Sutty has dropped it.
Fury's up on the podium, but Peaceful's right on the back of him, and Plava could get past Sutty as well. So Sutty's got massive damage. Yeah, his bumper is hanging off. He's got cable ties holding that bumper on, and Plava comes shooting through. Fury is on for a podium here, unless he drops it.
As Fury now hanging there for a podium position, he gets closer to Overtaker, but Overtaker has no answer for his teammate. It's been an absolute domination here for the silence of the Lambos, who are 1 and 2. I think this is gonna be the first 1-2 of the season in the Pro for any team. And what a performance these two have put on. Overtaker just hanging in for race 1. Fury currently in 3rd. He needs to be squeaky clean towards the end because Peaceful is right there. And he's also got Plava and Sutty Apex just behind him as well.
Yeah, one mistake for Fury and he could drop down to...
Oh, he has a wiggle!
Yeah, he has a wiggle. He don't want many more of them if he wants to keep that podium.
He doesn't want to be touching those curbs either. And Prava, once again, like I said, can he get a podium? He runs very wide. That is track limits there. But in the wet, you're going to struggle to get grip out there. But Peaceful is hunting down Fury as best he can. 225 for Fury, 222 for Peaceful. And Prava, 220. He's flying. And Prava, and is putting pressure from the top three now.
Fury really is struggling. Sutty is now out of the podium hunt. His wait for a podium goes on and on. Could we be talking to Peaceful or Emplava? Emplava for the first time in the Pro Series.
It'll be the first time Peaceful's been up on the podium for this season. Also, these two desperately wanting a podium. Fury at the minute is stopping these guys from doing so. Overtaker currently in a little bit of traffic. I think he's stuck behind Smoky Devil at the minute, but he's probably not in any hurry to pass any traffic because he has a monster of a gap. The leaders matching one another, 2:18s before those two, and it says that Body Boy says a bit wet in it. As PM Motorsport also says, mildly moist it is, Liam. As Emplava goes wide.
Emplava does go wide. I thought someone had dropped it. This is giving Fury a bit of breathing room because Emplava's trying to put the pressure on to Peaceful, and their chance of a podium is going down the road with Fury.
As Matt is now ahead of Overtaker. On track as Overtaker's trying to lap him. This is interesting here as Overtaker's going around the outside of Matt, and Matt there, he nearly drops it.
And he's gonna lose the position to Smoky Devil, so Matt has lost 10th place.
Matt has lost 10th
Peaceful's
place.
got on the podium. What's happened to
Fury's dropped it.
So's Emplava.
Sutty's coming back. Sutty is coming back with that damaged Lamborghini. Peaceful, you have got one lap to survive in that Ferrari. He's had such bad luck. He's not won a race in a car in so long since Bathurst. He's going to get back on the podium though. Peaceful explosion. Whenever we talk about him, whenever we go on board with him, he drops it. Peaceful, stay on track for once.
Yeah, Peaceful hasn't had a podium since
2:16.5 from Emo Guy.
Jesus Christ, that is a... Sutty has made another mistake and Emplava's up into 5th. Argent's now on the back of his teammate as well. Matt's got back ahead of Smoky Devil, but Matt has a wiggle and Smoky gets back through.
Oh my god, Jamie, what a night of racing we've had. Race 1 couldn't be any more dramatic. Race 2 has just been as dramatic. Matt dropping to the back with Andy out of this race as well. The two Powerline Racing boys going at it. Argent versus Biggs, and Biggs looking to make a move on his teammate. Fury and Peaceful batting out for the final podium positions. What a race this has been. Don't curse them, Daniel, says PN in the Motorsport in the chat. But Peaceful is his own worst enemy. He's the one who gets cursed whenever we see him, whenever we look at him. But this man, Jamie, has absolutely destroyed it in race 2.
He has taken like a duck to water on this track. You'd think he was driving the Boatley. For those who watch GT World Challenge Europe will know what the Boatley is.
Peaceful's under massive pressure from Fury. Fury has brought that gap down. Look at it. Fury has a wiggle. Peaceful is defending for his life here. But Emo Guy coming through the final sector. It's going Scottish here for round 8 of the Pro Championship. Emo Guy, Ian, what a race he's put together here in the stormy conditions. Emo Guy is back on top in his 66.6 Lamborghini. He is coming home. Emo Guy will win round 8 here at Simplay Motorsport for the Pro Championship. What a drive from this man. Absolutely brilliant.
What a drive from Emo. I didn't put a foot wrong.
And Overtaker's going to come home to make it a 1-2 for Silence of the Lambos. Brilliant stuff from him. Second place. But Fury's now in second. Fury's in third.
He's on the outside. Peaceful. Can he duck back on the inside? There's contact between the two of them.
This is it. Last lap. Last couple of corners. Fury is on the podium. Peaceful is in fourth place. He wants this podium. Fury struggling for traction. Peaceful. He's not close enough. Fury's going to hang on. Is he? He's got to have a good run through the final corner.
He's not had a good run. Here comes Peaceful. Can he get the drive? No, he can't. Fury is going to take P3 and propel himself back into this championship fight.
Peaceful is going to lose out on the podium. He got so close. Emperava's going to be in 5th place position. Sutty Apex with such a good start to this race. Get your votes in for Driver of the Day. What a race. PN says in the chat, Driver of the Day for Emo Guy. We'll come to Jamie and myself for Driver of the Day, but Sutty Apex for 6th. D-Biggs is going to come home and outdo his teammate for 7th. Argent is going to take 8th. Kelly is going to be the last car that's on the lead lap in 9th place position. Smokey will take 10th. Matt in 11th. Bad race for Matt, and also Andy will not score any points here as he has retired. Also, he will take 12th place position. But Jamie, wow, what a race. Let's get Emo Guy and Fury into the chat. Let's get your votes in. So close. Great race though. Some questionable driving from some, says Peaceful in the chat, as KLF comes into the final corner here, as KLF will finish this race. Wow, what a night of racing we've had here, Jamie. Kota has brought some absolute drama here this evening.
Yeah, Kota has brought some absolute drama this evening. The weather has brought some absolute drama this evening. Fastest lap is... It needs no questioning who's got fastest lap. It's Emo Guy with a 2:16.5. He had unbelievable pace in that final race.
He had that Lamborghini hooked up. What a race from Emo Guy. As we get the points updated, I'm pretty sure Matt is on it already, as I've got all the replays saved. Thank God for that. I've actually managed to save all 4 replays for every single championship. But it is Emo Guy, your race winner here tonight, and what a drive for him. He's back on the top of the table with his teammate in second. The first 1-2 of the season for these two. Silence of the Lambos will extend their championship lead, with Fury in 3rd. Peaceful with his best result yet in 4th place. Emperava in 5th. 6th is Sutty Apex. 7th is D-Biggs. 8th is Argent. 9th is KLF. 10th is Smokey. 11th is Matt. And Andy did retire, so he will take a qualifying ban for Zolder next round, as we do have the top 3 in with us now, and we will start with Fury. And Fury, race 1 didn't go your way, but race 2 though, you had to fight right to the end as Peaceful was hunting you down for that last place position.
Mate, the Merc on its tyres, it was so difficult to keep control. I had no tyre wear left at all. Coming into halfway of the race, there was nothing left in those tyres. I was just slipping it and driving it as best as I could with no tyre. It was unbelievable.
But you got to be happy though with race 3. That has to make up for race 1. You do manage to outscore Andy and Matt in this race, but sadly Overtake is still outscoring you in the championship. But nonetheless, you got to be happy with 3rd with those tricky conditions.
Yeah, I wasn't very confident coming into the race knowing the Merc and it being thunderstorms, and I know the Merc just likes to spin its tyres and eat tread, and it done exactly that, but I managed to keep it as straight as possible on the track. But yeah, overall happy with the result.
We'll go into next week, where you head to actually no, first things first, Sunday we head to Abu Dhabi for the final race of the F1. Can you finally get a race win in that in the McLaren? And also you head to the touring cars on Tuesday, and then Zolder in a week's time. What can you do?
Zolder I'm not confident in, because the Merc just doesn't seem to enjoy Zolder at all. Touring cars I'm feeling pretty confident. Hopefully the pedals stick, because I think I managed to fix the issue. Sunday, Abu Dhabi, F1, I can just try my best. That's about as far as I can do with F1, is just try.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on P3. You really had to work for that. But we head to Zolder for you for the next night race, so congratulations on 3rd.
Cheers, mate.
As we then move on to Overtaker, and wow, mate, you couldn't have asked for anything more really tonight. A 2nd and a 1st, other than probably winning the race, but it just seemed like your teammate had much more pace than you.
Yeah, couldn't have gone better than this. I don't know what happened to other guys. I was just trying to stay out of the trouble. So lap 1, lap 2, and it seems everyone was struggling so much in these conditions. I was running super slow, 3rd, 2nd gear, from the slow corners, shifting very early. So patience paid up.
Yeah, patience did pay off, and I think you've now extended your championship lead going into Zolder. You have a 32-point gap over Matt. You've got to be happy with that, and also a 1-2 for you and Emo Guy. That's got to be great for the team as well.
Yeah, that's excellent. I didn't know he had it in him. We should have more wet races. But about the Zolder, I'm not confident, as Fury said. I don't think the Lambo is the car for there. I think Audis and BMW will be super quick. So we'll see. You'll never know.
And also, mate, congratulations on Driver of the Day. You got the most votes for Driver of the Day. Actually, no, sorry, I rephrased that. Both you and Emo Guy are level on that. So congratulations to both of you for Driver of the Day from the fans.
Well, thanks. That's a first.
And we now move on to your race winner, Emo Guy. Ian, it's been a very, very long time, but you are back on top of the table.
Yeah, I think the last time I won any races here simply was Bathurst in the rain, ironically.
And ahead of me.
Yeah, only just. Yeah, I will admit, I did not have any trouble with the car at all. The only thing I changed from race 1 was the tyres and the downforce and a little bit of ride height, and that was all. And the car felt fantastic. The only problem I had was the brakes kind of stuttering a bit, but apart from that, everything went about as good as you can ever hope.
I bet now from the rest of the season you are hoping and praying for rain dances, because you just looked on fire. No one near your lap times. You are 2 seconds faster than your teammate, a second and a half faster than Fury. So no one really at your pace. So you got to be happy with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I really don't know what came over me in race 2, considering how bad race 1 went. I put my car in the lead as much as I could. And just kept on driving the lanes that I knew that I could get the good laps on, and they just kept on coming in better and better.
Well, between you and Overtaker, you're both leading the Drivers' Championship. You've now moved up to 6th place position. You're both leading the Teams' Championship. Heading to Zolder, you've got to be feeling confident for the Constructors' Championship.
Oh yeah, I've always loved Zolder. It's one of my favourite tracks. It takes a lot of precision. It takes a lot of focus. It definitely shows what kind of skill a driver has when it comes to being in a group and with that many corners and chicanes.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the race win, and congratulations on the 1-2, and also for the fans Driver of the Day equal with your teammate as well. So congratulations on that as well.
Thank you very much, and thank you everybody watching that voted for me and Overtaker.
Yeah, and that is it for COTA here this evening. Jamie, last few words from yourself and your Driver of the Day as well, because I don't know where to start here, because this has been an amazing race.
Yeah, this has been, it's been an amazing night. COTA really has shaken this championship fight up. Matt Hemovich and Andy not having the nights that they wanted, and Overtaker has stretched his lead out a lot. My Driver of the Day has got to go to Overtaker. He only just won race 1, but a first and a second. Can't really complain with that one at all. But yeah, move on to Zolder next week. Completely different track, and should suit completely different cars than what COTA suited. So looking forward to that one.
Definitely so, and I'm going to have to agree with Jamie on this one. Overtaker has been the strongest here tonight. Ukbar was the dominator in Pro-Am. It's been Emo Guy and Overtaker who've been the strong guys here this evening in the Pro. We head a week away to Zolder for the next round of the championship. Round 5, round 9 and 10. Can Overtaker extend his championship lead? Can Emo Guy do a rain dance so that he can be able to get back on the top step of the podium? It's a night race at Zolder. We are looking forward to it. Make sure you tune in on Sunday night as we have the very last F1 race, Abu Dhabi. We set in the evening going into night. Matt has won the championship, but Ferrari can still get a couple more places. And can anyone stop Matt from taking another race win? Can Gary or Sati, Big Boy Brazier, Fury, can any of these guys take a win? And also, make sure you tune in on Tuesday night as well, as we do have the British Touring cars back again. at Silverstone and National. But it is Emo Guy with fastest lap here tonight. First win for him this season. A massive congratulations to him. And from myself and Jamie and everybody here at Simplay Motorsport, it's good night.
Good night.